It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, welcome back in. Rando Tuesday style. Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice, Hayes, and CB. Boys, how we feeling?
You know what, man? Feeling pretty good today. Getting settled in here. I think it's so late in the shot clock for me. Kind of a rival here with my setup. But we're here. We're ready to rock and roll. And
got them scrambled eggs.
You know what? Got the scrambled eggs and the blueberries popping off. Got the protein going. Got the fruit going. And we're here and ready to rock. How you feeling?
Outstanding, my man. We've got Sammy Monson coming on, bottom of the hour, Pro Football Focus. We'll do a little Buckeye talk in the third hour with Joshua Perry, our friend, the former national champ.
And by the way, got to give JP a congrats, and we'll do it again. He's a father now. Just had a child, I believe, recently within the last few weeks, and that kind of flew under the radar. You know,
that's why we're having him on.
Yeah, just to talk about fatherhood, right. And all of that, and the lack of sleep that I'm sure he's getting. But he's got to be really getting geared up for the season, because I know you're ready to. You keep pushing it down the line, but for him, I'm sure we're still getting TV network meetings and everything. JP, he blew up, man. Another one of those guys that came through the fan, grinded it out with CB and I late on. We had the NFL hour Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. That's when he was really getting his feet wet.
He's a fan graduate?
He's a fan graduate.
Yeah, that's right.
We got Brady Quinn. We got A.J. Hawk. We got Joshua Perry.
Well, A.J. was more of, how would you call it? Would you call it Brady's sidekick?
Well,
was this like Conan and Andy? Was there like a little bit of...
His name was on the show because it was the all season with you, Brady, and AJ.
But I think it was more, and I have to go back and ask AJ, it felt like more of this, let's try to band together and launch Brady. Like that's what that's what it felt like to me, that he wanted to get into it. And I think AJ was more like, yeah, you want me to do it, I'll do it kind of deal. Like, I think he was much more casual about it.
I think you need to take more credit for this, because you were coaching him up. You got him ready to go. And now you got Brady on, Big Noon Saturdays. Yep. AJ's on every day with McAfee. I think Tyvis Powell, he's on Big Ten Network. He's everywhere. So, yeah, you and I, we've been
left behind.
You and I are kind of like the minor league system. Like, like the Columbus Clippers, and we send them up to the big leagues.
Yeah, and we never get the call.
We never. We just stay in the minors.
We're Crash Davis. That's who I am.
Oh, man. But, yeah, it's going to be good to talk to JP Olentangy's finest today.
That will be nice. We have a lot to do today. We certainly will. I was kind of keeping an eye on Wimbledon here, just for the people that care. And because we do have a couple of Americans, the fact that Tommy Paul, I believe, took the first set from Alcaraz is something to start paying attention to. This is pretty massive. I go back a long time with tennis. I can't imagine. At the top of my head, the last American male in the final was Andy Roddick. That might have been 20 years. I don't even know. And then Sampras, probably the last to win it as an American male.
Petey?
The fact that we have, unless I'm missing somebody, I don't think I am. I don't know if Isner ever got to did he ever get to the final? I'd have to check. Anyway, the fact that Tommy Paul is up a set and a break on Alcaraz, and we have Fritzy, who's also in the quarters, beating Zverev yesterday. And by the way, I found out what that was. I was telling you that they stood at the net together after the match.
Talking trash.
No, I don't know if it was trash. I looked at you and I said, man, that's a pretty long little meeting after the match at the net. It was just, and it turns out, the story is that Fritz's girlfriend,
where's this
who is a influencer, I believe.
Okay.
Maybe model / influencer.
They get some big bags on social media.
Very busy dancer. No,
wait a minute. What?
I'm kidding. And so
hold on.
She supposedly IG'd or tweeted something after the match or before the match saying, hey, let's win one for the girls kind of thing. There have been some allegations against Zverev as far as like domestic stuff.
Oh.
So she had tweeted something, because I thought, why are you putting plural on that? Why would your boyfriend be winning one for the girls or the ladies?
Mm-hmm.
And then she wound up deleting it, saying it's not what I meant, even though she kind of did it twice, once before the match and then once afterward.
Yeah.
And then she got a lot of backlash for it. And then that was that meeting. And I guess listen, this is nothing that Fritz did. It was his girlfriend. And if she did it intentionally or not intentionally, that's up to them. Or up to social media, but that's what that was yesterday.
Okay, because you were telling me that during the break, and I was hoping that we just had some static between some guys, some high-level competition, but that seemed to be a very serious conversation there. And sometimes you got to be careful with your partner and what they do and don't say on social media. Just ask Matthew Stafford how that's worked out for him over the last couple of weeks.
By the way,
what was that?
I took a little bit of Lance Armstrong at that one.
What are we doing?
By the way, Medvedev and Sinner are in the 5th now, so there's some pretty good tennis happening. The one with Stafford's wife, I don't know. I don't want to speak too much on it because I don't know, but I saw the headline, which was she on a podcast saying something about when they were dating in college that she wanted to make him jealous or something and wound up getting with one of his friends?
That's a problem.
But I don't know to
the backup quarterback.
Yeah, the backup QB.
But do we know what degree, CB, that they were together? I think that's where there was a tiebreaker.
No, I think she left out the details on that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that maybe there was a little time off between, is it Kelly, I believe is her name? Yeah. Kelly and Matthew?
And
then maybe, see, to me, that's still a little grimy. It's a little grimy.
It may be grimy. What makes it even more grimy is that you feel like you'd want to admit that now.
Yeah,
unless
why?
he's good with it.
I thought I saw some
very comfortable.
I saw some quotes where he came out and denied it. That didn't happen. So who knows?
Whoever denied it supplied it?
Who knows what the truth is in that situation? But yeah, it feels to me like based off of her story that if there was a little cooling off period, let's say between her and Matthew Stafford, that maybe there was a little revenge there. I don't know, but if I'm Matthew Stafford, when my wife says that, I'm like, what are we doing, babe? Like, why are we creating this headline right now?
Unless it was just an innocent, I went out on a date with him, right? I'm not trying.
Way.
Well, get the story then. Let's get the details.
Have Bobby call back. He knows him, right? That's his boy.
I don't know if you want to stir that up.
Maybe, where's the general at when you need him?
That may be one that needs to stay quiet.
You would think that would have been her mentality going into the situation when she was asked about.
She apologizes.
She had to.
Matthew Stafford's wife, Kelly, apologizes to his college teammate for sharing the dating story. So she said she dated him in college to make Matt jealous, which, by the way, how does that guy feel? That's why she said the apology is
a rebound. Yeah, like you're the
she
rebound.
was only using him to get. Yeah,
you're the rebound. Yeah, so it was revenge.
But he didn't know that.
That's cold, man. But hey, look, they're a happy couple now, and they're out here.
Yeah, well, that guy's married and all that. Everything, it all worked out.
I'm sure his wife was happy to hear that.
You have zero involvement in what I spoke about, adding that she actually looked up to him while studying at Georgia, where she and Matthew fell in love. You were the couple that everyone thinks Matthew and I was. Y'all were the UGA quarterback and cheerleader that met and never let go. This is a pretty spicy little deal. And it's really what comes down to now that I told you this the other day, you guys know it. This broadcasting, this industry was an industry. Now it's everywhere. Anybody that wants to broadcast can. The technology is there. However many listeners or watchers you get is up to you. And now when you sit down in front of these microphones, podcasting, whatever, and they're much longer. You and I always kidded each other. When we have really insightful writers on or people that do podcasts, sometimes they're not in our pace. They're not in our scheme, Maddie. They need to know our scheme. Our scheme is about 7 to 10 minutes. We get you in, we get you out, a little bit of the old in and out. And then, but when you do podcasts for 45 minutes, an hour or longer, and so I think when people sit down at these, it's just so casual and you're talking at such length that you just, eventually that envelope gets pushed and pushed and pushed. And then it's like, I got a great story for you. And it's happened to me, and maybe it'll happen to you one day. I don't know. As far as like saying, you get very comfortable. She got a little comfy.
You think? That's putting it lightly.
CB would have to dig into the details if she actually said we had relations.
I think
she just said we went on a date and I was trying to make Matt jealous. I don't think it's the worst story in the world. I think it's actually okay.
Well, you are the king of still talking to your exes, so you're all in on that type of stuff. Like, that's not a gray area for you. You don't mind that at all, right? You're just like
there are levels of it, gentlemen.
You were all in.
But she wasn't talking to her ex. She was just talking about him, and that's the difference.
Yeah, it's just, I'm sure that was a great conversation. Pillow talk with those two that night after Matthew heard that.
It's amazing. Well, he's got his own little deal, right?
He's on his way to trying to win another Super Bowl. That's what he's locked in. You know what else is a great deal is what we're going to do today, because we're going to hand out another family 4-pack of tickets to the Cardell Jones charity softball game on Saturday, July 20th at Huntington Park. If you aren't the winner, don't worry. Tickets can be purchased for just $10 at BuckeyeCruise.com. And CB let me know we're doing these every day this week and a couple days next week. So if you got nothing to do on July 20th, you need to stick here on the Fan, especially between noon to 3, because we got these tickets for you flying off the rack, AR.
Well, we almost were giving out a couple days. We were almost bundling today because of the no winner yesterday, and then we saved it late.
Yeah,
with a bonus question, which was awesome. Like I said, we'll have Sam Monson on. We'll talk some NFL. We're going to get into more stuff with Ryan Day as he kind of really sets the scene for this season and beyond and what they're trying. This just feels, and I know you and I have talked about this a lot, they are so chomping at the bit to get into this season. And then you add the fact, and maybe I should ask you the question because I've asked our guests enough. Harder, easier, the same to win a natty now in the expansion. It feels to me like the most talented teams, I would lean towards, I don't want to say easy. It's never easy, but it's easier because now you can earn a bye if you're good enough for the regular season. If you're not good enough in the regular season and you have a couple slip-ups, you can still get in. Like the most talented teams, if Ohio State, dare I say it, were to lose a couple games and get in as I don't know, you name the seed, 8, 9, 10, whatever. They become, in my mind, the team you don't want to see as that coming around team.
Harder, easier, or the same? It's not easier. When you have more wiggle room, that opens the door for more injuries. And we know in that sport that that's going to happen. So part of me is leaning towards harder. But I think specifically with this year's team, I think they're going to have the bye. So I'm going to go with about the same.
Yeah, to me, I'm leaning easier based on, and I'll probably use your argument, which is the lower echelon teams. How many upsets are we really going to see? Yeah. And they're not playing really any more games. Like it's not going to be a ton of more games, especially if they earn the bye. And then that injury factor you just brought up, well, that's the other team's problem because Ohio State would be massively rested from December 7th to potentially what, CB, the 28th or whatever they would play their first round if they get the bye.
Well, yeah, you just got to hope with that going in.
No, you wouldn't play until around New Year's
Eve, right? So even a little bit longer.
That's true, but you also got to hope that going into that window of time that you don't have guys that are out with significant injuries, right? Like if we're assuming that but they go in healthy to that bye week. To your point, that's a massive boost. But just fingers crossed that along the way, the journey getting to the finish line, that the guys that you are perceiving as studs will be locked and loaded, but I'll go with about the same. It's hitting me about the same right now.
I feel like the scary, talented teams, what makes them even more scary is they can have a slip up and still come back to get you. And in way past, it was like if you had a key slip up,
probably cooked.
You may be cooked, and that's it. And that's what these Cinderella teams, if you want to call them that, would want to see, but they won't because the behemoths will come back, whether they slip up or not. We'll come back. Remember when LaShawn McCoy said KC has no threat? Well, he has some pushback. We'll tell you about it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We are your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here. Do you ever find yourself just accepting things the way they are? It is what it is, right? Well, that was me before I met my Awaken 180 coach. It wasn't only about the number on the scale. It was about reigniting goals I'd shelved, thinking they were out of reach. We sat down, and she didn't just talk numbers. She helped me uncover real goals, personal goals. Looking back at what those were, I've had a really solid lineup of victories. Sleeping through the night like a baby? Check. Playing a round of golf without nagging back pain the next day? Check. Desire to be more active? You bet. That's a check. And okay, yes, dropping a whopping 50 pounds, that deserves a loud and proud double check. Change your perspectives from what ifs to what's next. Pull up awaken180weightloss.com on your phone or computer. Select the day and time that works for you, and boom, the first step is done. Uncover your goals, then reach them with the solution for weight loss. It's online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, what's up, Buckeye Nation? It's Cardale Jones. Join me Saturday, July 20th at Huntington Park for the Schmitz Cardale Jones charity softball game presented by Monogram Homes and the U.S. Air Force. Come check out former Buckeye greats take on this year's current Buckeye stars such as Emeka Ibuka, Jaden Ballard, and many more. Come see and meet the Buckeyes before they hit the field this fall. Gates open at 5 p.m. Contests and prizes all night long. Home run derby at 6:30 and the game to follow. Tickets available at BuckeyeCruise.com. Why pick Nick when you can Schmick Nick? Get your $10 tickets now at BuckeyeCruise.com.
Join us for the Schmitz Cardale Jones Celebrity Softball Game, July 20th at Huntington Park.
Presented by Monogram Homes.
Former Buckeyes will swing for the fences against current Buckeye players. Details and tickets at BuckeyeCruise.com.
It's time to start saving with deals for days at Giant Eagle and Market District. From the everyday essentials to your must-have branded favorites, Deals for Days has low prices on more than 1,000 items across the store. Don't delay. These discounted prices on your go-to groceries will only be available for a limited time. Learn more about Deals for Days at GiantEagle.com or dive into savings today at your local Giant Eagle or Market District.
Billiards Plus has everything for the master griller in your house. Come to their showroom, open the lid, and feel the difference in their grills. Professional top quality equipment at great prices with a huge selection ready to go home with you. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
At Sunny Street Cafe, we scoff at the notion that restaurants should only have one tagline.
'Cause we
have 7.
And here's our number 7.
Sunny Street Cafe. Food that makes your day better. In a place that makes you feel comfortable.
With 8 locations.
At Glow Fiber Business, your business is our priority. With prepackaged and customized fully fiber optic solutions, Glow Fiber Business delivers the fast, reliable, and scalable fiber internet your business needs to grow, all backed by the superior local customer support you deserve. Glow Fiber is here, and we mean business. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com to switch today.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy skies today with a high of 86. Tonight we start seeing the remnants of Tropical Depression Burrow moving on in, going 70 for the nighttime low. We'll see some showers with the heaviest rain between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. Wet and windy tomorrow with a high of 82. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
This is Rothman and Ice, the #1 rated midday show in Columbus.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
I haven't heard this name in a long time. And my goodness, what a player. Right here in Ohio, Cincinnati, St. X guy. And when he came on the scene about 12, 13 years ago, he was the guy. He was Defensive Rookie of the Year, one of the youngest guys to ever win it, and he was the youngest to ever get the AP NFL Defensive Player of the Year award in its history. And 7 years later, he was done. So I'm talking about Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
And he rejoined the Panthers as a pro scout and then resigned from that, Maddie, a few years ago.
I remember one Saturday in the all-season, Pick North, we took a trip down to St. X. It's like a 7-on-7 event that they were hosting. And I was playing running back. And as you know, like 7-on-7, you're not hitting too much. But out there on the opposing side of the field was one Luke Kuechly. And I remember one play he came on like a fake blitz. And we went helmet to helmet. And my head was rocking. But that day when I left, all of us were like, oh, he's for real. So when you laid out his resume of what he turned into as a player, went to Boston College, and then everything you mentioned in the league, like I got a taste of that early on because he graduated, I believe, 08, or he was in my class. We're about the same age, but I'll never forget going down there that Saturday and just watching this dude fly around and look like a safety at linebacker. And you just knew right then and there that Luke Kuechly was going to be something special.
So it's interesting you say that because, yes, championship team, D1, the whole deal down there. But then I looked up his recruiting, three-star kid, not even in the top 40 as far as linebacker prospects. And then he went to BC and he visited BC, Virginia, Duke, and Stanford, and then he wound up committing to the Eagles. And it was one of those things where you're wondering, like, he just must have been meant to be a football player.
Late bloomer.
Yeah. Even though he's on a very good team at St. X and did get first-team honors and all that, for some reason at that point, and you'd have to ask him, what happened in high school when you were such a two-time all-grader Catholic League guy and you weren't rated very highly. Now, I don't know, when you say late bloomer, I'm very curious about that, whether it's height, weight, where was he at that time? But look at the NFL career he had. So, Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, 5-time first-team All-Pro.
Yeah, he was nice, man. Not a Pro Bowl, All-Pros.
All-Pro. 7 times he went to the Pro Bowl, but then he was All-Pro those other times. And then he was on the All-Decade team of 2010s. It's really an unbelievable story, and then through the injuries and such, he left the game, you'd say prematurely, at the age of 28.
Good for him.
And so, but to be on an all-decade team is remarkable. Anyway, so he's done. He considered becoming a broadcaster or a coach, or then he decided to go into scouting. And like I said, he went back to the Panthers and started scouting, then resigned that. And then he was at the Bills. He was with the Bills. He was with Sean McDermott for a little bit, assisting him.
Yeah, because McDermott was in Carolina as their defensive coordinator for a while, I believe. Let me check that.
Yes, in those years before he retired, absolutely. So they go back to that. I don't know if they go back any further than that, but you're right, absolutely. With the Panthers, he was coaching. He was the DC. So he must be just visiting and keeping his kind of eye on the game a little bit. And when LaShawn McCoy talked about that he didn't see any threat to Kansas City, because it's almost like, I don't want to keep trying to pick another team because Kansas City eventually is going to get them. I don't think it's as easy as it sounds, but certainly Mahomes in a big game, he's very easy to trust, but it still is a team game. Well, Kuechly was talking about the team that Kansas City beat in overtime last year in the Super Bowl, and he is still on the lookout for the 49ers.
If you had to pick an NFC team right now, would you go all in with them?
Absolutely. I had an opportunity to play against Kyle Shanahan pretty much every year I was in the NFL, sometimes multiple times when he was with the Falcons, I love what they do on offense. I think it's difficult. The shifts, the motions, the wide zone, the play action off of that is just so challenging. And then you look at what they have on the offensive side of the ball skill-wise. Purdy's going into year 3. He's established himself as a really high-end quarterback. Christian, obviously, switched himself. Kittle, huge check. Debo, and then Ayuk. You know, they just have so many options to get the ball to in different areas on the field that it's so challenging. And then that defense is really good as well. So that's my team. Obviously, Christian's one of my best buds. He had a phenomenal season last year. Obviously, looking forward to another one from him this year as well.
He's not wrong. In fact, and it's very rare to get to feel like you want to pick a repeat, but they're both there as far as the betting goes. Now, they moved on from Armstead. They lost Chase Young, but they added Leonard Floyd, and they're not moving on. They don't plan to move on from Ayuk, so he's right to mention him. And they wound up getting Purdy even more receivers in the draft.
And you just got to wonder, too, with how close they've been, how, you know, the good luck is it always going to be in their favor when it comes to the health, right? It bit them in the butt a couple years ago where Brock Purdy got hurt early in that game against the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. But a lot of a few of their high-end players are not that young anymore. Like, how much juice does a Deebo Samuel continue to have in his legs? A guy like Trent Williams, who's been touted as the best left tackle in the sport, he's not a young guy either. Kittle's been around for a while. CMC's got a lot of wear and tear on his body, but he's been available more times than not, especially in San Francisco. So they're going to be the pick for a lot of people, and rightfully so. But you zoom out from San Francisco, and one guy that I think can really take his team to higher heights next year is Jameson Williams in Detroit. Detroit's got a squad. We all know it. We saw them last year really do some good things from top to bottom, and especially in the postseason. But Jameson Williams has been a bit of a miss right now for them, whether it was suspension or injuries or just inconsistent play. Because his last year at Alabama, he was absolutely lights out with Nick Saban. I mean, you're talking 15 touchdowns, 1,500 yards, and averaging 20 yards a catch. In 2 years here in the NFL, he's only racked up 395 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, yes, they have good weaponry, but I think that Detroit team that continues to build, if Jameson Williams can get going, that's going to make them even scarier and maybe put them on that same level as San Francisco.
It's funny you mentioned that because with the Lions, and you know, I like them a lot.
It's your team.
It is my
you
right.
Left the
Absolutely.
Vikings.
I told Spiels I burned all the purple gear I had. Here's the great thing about them. They focused on defense. Mm-hmm. Like if he comes around, but they drafted corners with each of their first 2 picks. This roster now is as complete as we've seen. Although C.J. Gardner-Johnson, that one,
went back to Philly.
That stings for sure. But they had a couple of good starters there, and I'm looking at their roster now. I mean, Will Harris, he can play corner and safety, and I mean, Brian Branch could play some safety. They've added depth to the secondary, and that was a big priority in the draft as well. If the Lions' defense is what I think they can be, where they've really focused, then look out.
Don't sleep on the Falcons either. I looked at their value at Bet365 at 12-1. It's not bad. And what's sneaky about what the Falcons did last year is they were, well, no, not yet. That ain't happening, I think, for a couple of years. But sneaky for the Falcons last year, 11th in the league defensively in yards allowed. I think their offense is going to be great. I really do. But that defense, if they can piece that together the way that they did a year ago, Falcons could be a sneaky threat in the NFC.
And they could have drafted a big defensive player instead of Penix, and they didn't. Imagine if they did that. Yeah. Imagine if they just said, we're all in with Cousins, let's draft a big defensive stud, and they don't do it. We'll see what that does. But I agree with you, division and all that. Now, when you say don't sleep on them, you mean for the Super Bowl?
No, to possibly be in the NFC Championship game. Right. That's how much I believe in their offense in Atlanta.
We'll ask Sam Monson as well. He's up next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Pella has forever been known for the best of windows, Wilson. But our doors, just as game-changing.
Yep, same with us.
We've got traditional and modern options, but also some really innovative stuff, like big, bold colors or tuck-away sliding doors.
But do you have the give it a little kick to open it door?
Does that mean what I I think it means?
Yeah, you got to give it a good little kick to open it.
Get the windows and doors that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted. PellaColumbus.com.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, here to introduce you to Tansky Power Sports. That's right, check out our growing inventory of golf carts, electric bikes, and dirt bikes. And the fleet keeps growing. This month, come rent a golf cart for the 4th of July. We're located at 2491 West Dublin Granville Road in Columbus. Visit TanskyPowersports.com to book yours today. And when you think power sports, think Tansky.
Think Tansky. Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Soak up the savings this summer from Family Dollar. It's never been easier. Just download the Family Dollar app, sign up for smart coupons, and see how you can save more than ever before. Enjoy smoking hot deals on cookout classics or get ready for outdoor fun with SPF for the whole family. Plus pool toys, decor, and so much more. Check out the app today and get ready to save with the Family Dollar Summer Savings Event. New offers drop every week. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Morning Juice.
I love the ends of the loaf of bread. It is phenomenal.
Yes, thank you. You know what? It's like a bun. My kids won't eat them. I make them eat their bread.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. For years, like me, you've heard their name on the radio. You've seen their ads on TV. You've seen their trucks driving around in your neighborhood. Or you've been greeted with a smiling face at a local community event. Newman Roofing. That's right. They've built their reputation on honesty and professionalism within the Central Ohio community. As a company, Newman Roofing believes in giving back to the community who has supported them over the last 32 years. It's essential to developing those long-lasting relationships with their families. Tim is a small-town guy with small-town values, and when I met and talked with him and his team, you could tell how much they love the community they serve. And you can hear those stories and hundreds of 5-star reviews to how many people trust Newman Roofing with their project and how they meet their expectations. So when it comes to your roofing needs, call Newman Roofing to receive unparalleled customer experience. So give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com. That's newmanroofing.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Their cholesterol numbers put all other fan hosts to shame. You are listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, here we go with our guy, Sam Monson. One of the best in the biz. Pro Football Focus lead NFL analyst. He's on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Sam, welcome back, my man.
Thanks for having me.
I was just kind of looking up the odds and the chances of a repeat Super Bowl as far as not Kansas City winning a three-peat, but the fact that San Francisco would play Kansas City again. Where are you in your mind on that?
Yeah, I mean, any season it's difficult for any team to get back to the Super Bowl, but you have to start off pretty much any given season with the idea that Kansas City are the favorites until somebody else knocks them off the perch or until somebody else is able to beat them along the road. And then San Francisco is increasingly becoming that team in the NFC as well that, that the chances are you would take the field ahead of San Francisco, but they are the favorite. They're the first team you're going to plug in there. So I guess from that perspective, the most logical and the largest chance Super Bowl matchup is the one we just saw again.
Sam, training camps are going to get going here pretty soon. I'm excited to get, just some type of ball rolling for us football lovers. But I wanted to ask you this. I could drop you into any training camp over the next couple weeks to follow this story. Where are you going and what do you want to follow?
I think I'd be most interested in seeing what may not be a quarterback battle, but a potential quarterback competition or just the dynamics of it in Pittsburgh with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Number one, to see how that Russell Wilson, Arthur Smith offense is actually going to look. You can paint a picture that says, actually, that's the perfect system for Russell Wilson to get back to being the kind of player that he was a few years ago, because it's all about play action. It's about protecting the quarterback, running the ball, not leaning too heavily on him and asking him to do too much. On the other hand, it likes to target the middle of the field, and Russell Wilson has never been good at that. So I think that has a pretty broad range of outcomes. And then the other element there is, Justin Fields was set up to fail by Chicago in terms of they didn't give him help for a long period of time, and he has gotten better every year of his career, even as a passer. So I don't think the idea that he's definitely done as an NFL starter is necessarily legit. And, he might be the best quarterback in Pittsburgh right now.
Sam, what are you more confident in, that Nick Chubb will be the running back we know he was, or that Jerry Jeudy will have some sort of rebirth in this Cleveland offense?
I'm not hugely confident in either one of those things. Nick Chubb is such a good player, but that was such a devastating knee injury. And, maybe he can come back and be the same guy. You just can't bank on it. It was such a complete sort of destruction of his knee. But he is a freak athlete. He's an incredible player. So absolutely rooting for him to be that guy again. I think you'd be kind of crazy to bank on it at this stage. Similarly, Jerry Jeudy. He hasn't been the player we expected him to be coming out. And it's definitely a new environment, a new system, maybe a better system for him and a better sort of support structure and dynamic within the offense. But at this point, expecting him to be a completely different player than we've seen so far is probably not smart either. So I don't think either one of those things is something to bet your money on.
What do you think about Cincinnati's running back room? Sam, we all know how high in their passing attack can be, especially when, Higgins, Chase, and Burrow are all out there together. But the addition of Zach Moss, a little bit of a sample size last year from Chase Brown. What do you think of those two guys and pairing together to try to do some damage on the ground?
Yeah, I think it's a solid 1-2 punch. Zach Moss has been a good, productive, sort of old school type of running back between the tackles type of guy. He's difficult to tackle. He's good after contact. He makes people miss. And then Chase Brown, I think, was already an interesting change of pace guy and has really been working on his receiving skills in the offseason, training as a wide receiver, not just as a running back out of the backfield to really move that part of his game on. So if that's the sort of first and second down and then third down dynamic, I think that's a good duo.
Where are you on the Miami Dolphins? They had some key players leave. They've had guys recovering from serious injuries. They'll have a quarterback that wants to continue to prove himself, a receiver that wants more money. They're so talented. I said to Maddie the other day, if they could just play themselves into a home playoff situation or something where the weather doesn't affect them. How do you feel about Miami?
Yeah, and even, I think we're going to sort of remember last season because of the way it ended, right? And obviously Kansas City ended up being the best team in the NFL. They won the Super Bowl. But also, at that point, Miami had literally run out of pass rushers. They were signing guys off the street just to come in, aged veterans that had once had great careers, and they're like, look, we need a guy that can come in and get 25 snaps this week. Can you help us out? That's the state of their edge rusher situation by the time they rolled into one of the coldest games that's ever been played in NFL history. So yeah, it fits the narrative of Miami wasn't really able to beat the best teams in the NFL and all those kinds of things. it is also a kind of freak ending to the season, just the way that unfolded around them. And I don't think it was necessarily a fair reflection of what they were capable of at that point. But they are an interesting team because they had that dynamic of they just torched bad teams and weren't able to have the same kind of production against the better teams. They also, I think this is going to be the sort of situation where they have an incredible mind as their head coach. And obviously last season they came in with a step ahead of everybody with this short motion stuff. It's sort of a little mini revolution of the game from a schematic point of view. And by mid-season, everybody else is doing it. Everybody's gotten a better handle on how to slow it down. And they're not the same team in the second half of the season as they were at the start when they had that huge advantage. So is he able to do that again? Was that a one-time thing? Or is that going to be a dynamic for Miami where they start off every season really good and really hot because they've got this little wrinkle that they're bringing to the table, but they're not able to kind of keep it going and keep the continuous revolution throughout the season and stay a step ahead of everybody?
Sam, there's something about the Commanders' offense that I like, and I know that's just on paper right now, but how do you feel about Jayden Daniels and the weapons around him and possibly what he'll be able to cook up with Cliff Kingsbury as his offensive coordinator?
Yeah, the whole thing is fascinating in Washington. I mean, so many unknowns with that team across the board, the offense as well. Jayden Daniels was phenomenal last season. He was also, throwing to a bunch of elite wide receivers in this offense. It was a sort of cheat code at LSU. You've got Cliff Kingsbury coming back after some time out of the game. His offense had kind of run stale by the end of the time in Arizona. So there's a big question of what his offense is going to look like after he's sort of taken a step back, tried to figure out where to make changes and how to evolve that system. Then what Jayden Daniels is going to look like stepping up into the NFL after that one incredible season that he had. And then all the players around him, the likes of, Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson and all those guys. So Austin Eckler being added to the mix. It's a really, really interesting offense and just so many unknowns across the board. But there's definitely a world where, Daniels has an incredible skill set, and guys like Terry McLaurin and Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson, they have some very good players on that offense. It could definitely be a unit that impresses.
All right. Great job, Sam. Always enjoy the conversation. We'll ring you back soon. Thank you.
Anytime, guys. Take it easy.
Sam Monson, Pro Football Focus lead analyst on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, guys, I'm talking to you. It's summer, time to do a lot more outdoors. Maybe you feel out of energy. Maybe you've lacked motivation, mental focus. You've gained some weight, all that stuff. Could be signs of low T. Don't wait. Find out. I know you're curious. If you're a guy in your 30s, 40s, 50s, for sure, you want to know where you land on that scale, and maybe they can help you. Low T Center is going to make it real easy to get those levels checked. Simple blood test, on-site lab, 25 minutes, and you'll have that answer. So if you go to lowtcenter.com right now, book your appointment. They will get you in. They'll get you those results. It's not your typical doctor's office. You're not going to sit there for an hour. And if you need the help, they will guide you. These are the experts. They're physicians, specialize in treating low T. They'll customize treatment for every patient. And so this is the time to do it. Get the life-changing results you've been kind of thinking of that maybe you need. Most health insurance is accepted for treatment. So get after it. lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care. All right, we'll switch gears a little bit. We'll get into some college football. And a famous name makes a big announcement about his future with a certain team. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The only show where sports talk is eclipsed by food talk.
Oh, nuts.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend is back. Shop buy one, get one half off wedding bands, 20% off diamond anniversary bands, and special offers on diamond engagement rings. Visit us at Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend, Friday, July 26th and Saturday, July 27th on Sawmill Road.
Billiards Plus has everything for the master griller in your house. Come to their showroom, open the lid, and feel the difference in their grills. Professional top quality equipment at great prices with a huge selection ready to go home with you. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes pride in providing a great customer experience and quality product to every job. From the first call to the final nail, you'll know how much we care. So call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. And I mean everything. Top tier equipment? Check. 24-hour access? You bet. Free fitness training? Always. Workouts in the free PF app? What'd I tell you? Even super friendly team members.
Hey, welcome to Planet Fitness.
Oh, hey. I was just mentioning you.
Hey.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th. See Home Club for details.
Check out the all-new John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram facility in Heath and experience the difference. We're your exclusive AgPack dealer, offering up to $30,000 in savings and benefits. And if you're tired of waiting at the dealership for service, take advantage of our service made simple with Carvenience or mobile service. Home of the lifetime powertrain guarantee and one of the largest selections in Central Ohio. John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 79 in Heath, or HindererCDJR.com. We love what moves you.
If you're listening to this and you're not already keeping it easy in your backyard with Bud Light, well, consider this message a gentle reminder. Your backyard is waiting, and so is that Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Buckeye Show.
I'd like to know where Lou Holtz is right now. I mean, I'm sure he's in bed. I tell you what, Ryan, you better not be saying those things about me. I'll get you.
The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Attention aspiring media stars. Are you ready to take your talent to the next level? Register for your chance to win the Be On Air Summer Slam contest. This is your chance to showcase your skills in a thrilling 30-second live script challenge. Visit now at studiocontest.com to secure your spot and compete for amazing prizes, including a 4-hour studio session, Shure MV7 microphone, and Audio-Technica M20X headphones. Don't miss out on this dynamic event. Be On Air Summer Slam contest, where talent meets opportunity. Visit studiocontest.com and sign up today.
Contractors, builders, apartment managers, listen up. There's a new cabinet company in town, Choice Cabinet. Over 60,000 in-stock cabinets ready for you. They want your business. Call them 216-378-9313 or online at choicecabinet.com.
Come play Skyline's 75th Coney Hunt game. Use your phone to search for virtual conies, tap to collect coins, and redeem them for exclusive Skyline merchandise at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time. Details at skylinechili.com/Coney Hunt.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. You know, I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. You know, basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Want to know anything about the Fan's contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The perfect ratio of sports talk, dogs, pro wrestling, and gambling advice.
It's science.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, welcome back in. He's one of the biggest names in college football because of his name. His name is Arch Manning. And, Maddie, I'd have to look and see how many snaps this guy has, if any.
He's attempted 5 passes.
5, all right.
In real action as a Texas Longhorn so far. Arch is just kicking it, man.
Yeah. 19. The whole world in front of him. But he's also a guy on the bench. And he's received a lot of... we talked about this when the video game came out. What was the deal with that, CB? He decided not.
Well, the deal is he didn't accept the deal. He didn't opt in.
That's right.
So you can't play Arch, is what you're telling me, CB. No. That's tough.
And he doesn't need
the money. Let's just be honest. He doesn't need it.
It's, to me, it was, I know we had this conversation. To me, it was the amount of money. And I think that it wasn't enough for him to say, yeah, I'll do it. And I actually respect that part of it. in a weird way.
So we look at that two different ways then. You think he's like, no, the check ain't big enough. And I'm thinking like, he's probably like, I'll just pass because my
how much was
bank account is
how
all.
Much was
I don't remember. That's a good question. I don't remember what the
several $100s.
What the number was.
I don't know what it was.
It wasn't anything crazy. I remember that. It wasn't anything.
I think that's what it was for me. It's that if I'm going to lend my name, image, and likeness to something, it has to be worth it. Every one of these guys weighs that. That's just my take. It's
no. If that's it, that's I don't know.
The players are guaranteed $600 alongside the copy of the game.
Okay,
there you go. And you get the copy.
So he'd have to decide whether it's cooler to be, quote, if it's in the game, it's in the game. He'd have to feel that that's a cool part of it. But he's a different era athlete. He's this era athlete. I remember when Herbstreit talked about this a while back, and he said, "Man, guys in my era, we would have paid them to be in the game." It had that kind of feel.
Yeah.
And so I get it. Times change. And for me, if he is protecting his NIL, wait a minute. I'm not just going to be in the game for $600. It's not about the money. It's about selling myself to that. Okay, that may be it. So we'll get back to the matter at hand here. So while he was at the passing academy, at the clinic at the Manning Passing Academy that was created by his family, he spoke with The Athletic and explained his reason to kind of stick it out with the Longhorns, despite Quinn Ewers coming back for this year.
Yeah. Said, quote, "It's tough because you want to be out there playing with your boys, but it came down to just realizing there's no what?
I started thinking of Top Gun in the 80s.
Oh, okay. But he said, but it came down to just realizing there's nowhere else I want to be. And it was my dream, AR, to play at Texas. I'm going to stick it out and play there eventually. I respect the heck out of that. I really do. Because we were just talking about his branded name and how big of a name that is in the football world. If this guy decided to hit the portal this past offseason, the one we just came out of, he would have had a ton of offers, not only because of who he is with that last name, but also this dude's supposed to be a heck of a quarterback. I mean, for the folks that don't remember, this guy was the #1 overall recruit coming out of high school in the 2023 class. So he was the guy. And so the fact that he's willing to sit behind Quinn Ewers at least for another year, it looks like, that's honorable to me, because we've seen a lot of guys now jump at other opportunities, whether it's because of playing time, money, a blend of both, whatever it may be. This is something that we don't see a ton of anymore. So I've gained a lot of respect for Arch Manning just based off of that quote alone, because this era of football has shown us that, hey, man, if dudes don't feel like their time is coming quickly, they're in that portal and they're on to something new.
Yeah. I mean, he visited Bama. He was thinking about it. And by the way, I've never longed to hear CB play that Kenny Loggins song in my life. I know he can't do it on the old YouTube.
YouTube gods will dunk
the
on
old
us.
Playing with the Boys, that could be his theme song right now. Yeah, it is interesting. There's no doubt that he would sit again. True sophomore. You said he's thrown 5 passes, a couple of games. And so it is respectable that he wants to say, no, this is where I committed. This is where I want to be. And, I mean, look what happened to Ewers. He left here, went there. And he's had a great career so far. He's had some issues with injuries, but maybe Arch Manning will just put his fate in the hands of football. Like, hey, if I'm meant to play this season because he got dinged up or he's not playing as well, then that'll be it. If not, my time is coming. It is interesting a guy of that prototypical talent and name would want to stick it out.
And also, I think one thing that can be encouraging if you're Arch is the NFL has shown us over plenty of drafts now that, you can be a guy that plays 13 games, 16 games and get drafted really high. Like some of them have worked out, some of them haven't. One name that comes to mind is Mitchell Trubisky, and another one here recently just last year with Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson did not play a ton at Florida, and he got drafted very high. So it just takes really one good lap around the track, and maybe he's willing to bank on his talents and what he could do in maybe 2025 and beyond. But, yeah, this year's Texas team is going to be very interesting to see what they cook up with Quinn Ewers running it back now as a seasoned veteran quarterback. And the matchup I can't wait to see is their Week 2 trip up to Ann Arbor when they go up against Michigan, because Texas, they lost a lot on offense. A lot of people are excited about Kansas City getting Xavier Worthy and what he can do there. I just mentioned Anthony Richardson. A.D. Mitchell was a wide receiver at Texas last year. They lost their starting running back in Brooks. He went to Carolina. So Quinn Ewers, he's one of those quarterbacks around the sport this year that has a lot of pressure on him. And I know that they brought in some guys both the traditional way with recruiting, but through the portal. But he's one of those guys that the structure that was around him last year is completely different, and he and Steve Sarkisian are going to have to be in the lab week in and week out to cook up some good things, especially now that they're down in the SEC.
I think this is a good kid. I do.
Arch?
I think he is. I think from everything you hear and read, even the NIL stuff and all the money he's gotten, a lot of stuff, he's donated, the trading card money he donated and to good causes. I think he's been raised right. I think he's a player, and he's at one of the biggest programs in the country, and he's waiting for his time to happen. And hopefully this time will work out. I'm very curious to watch him play. I do. It just feels like, and I know he's one of those guys that has a ton of pressure because of the name and to live up to. And like you said, he's not just a name. He's a perceived great talent as well. That'll be interesting to watch that race. If something happens with Ewers and this guy gets thrown in there, we'll see. All right, we'll come back. SportsCenter update here, top of the hour. And a star is getting antsy in the NFL. And by antsy, I mean he wants more cash. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a new golfer, think beyond the green and head over to X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell. Come experience the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world at X Golf. A fun venue with great food, excellent service, and a full bar. You can play around on one of our 50 courses, take a lesson from our PGA pro, hit the driving range, join a league, or just sit back and sip a beer on the outdoor patio. Book your tee time today at playxgolf.com. X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell, the home of indoor golf.
With surgery and drugs being the main options to treat chronic joint pain, that left orthopedic surgeons like Dr. Ray Tessner thinking,
geez, wouldn't it be nice if we can have another form of treatment that eliminates some of the downside and has a bigger upside as we learn more about it?
And then he found it. Regenerative medicine, an exciting, fast-growing approach to dealing with pain using healing agents from your own body.
Well, it's using the miracle benefits of the human body to help encourage healing.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving patients lasting relief from joint pain in their knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
It's one of the best management tools that has come around in a long time.
Finally, options other than surgery and steroids. All natural regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics. Learn more. Call today for your free consultation.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Great coaching can make all the difference, especially when it comes to your money. At Right Pac Credit Union, our financial coaches are on your team. We'll help you create a winning game plan that's customized for your unique needs, so you can make the most of your hard-earned money and live the life you want to live. Best of all, Right Pac Credit Union serves all of Central Ohio, so getting in the game is easy. Let's win together. Stop by one of our Central Ohio member centers to get started today. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. Let's start with baseball. The Reds are looking for a second straight win tonight after downing the Rockies 6-0 on Monday. 7:10 first pitch as they take on Colorado again with Nick Lodolo on the hill. The Guardians dropped a 1-0 decision in Detroit last night. Game 2 set for 6:40 this evening with Ben Lively getting the ball. In soccer, he's been killing it lately, so this is well-deserved. Columbus Crew goalkeeper Patrick Schulte has been selected to represent the United States in the 24 Paris Olympics. This was his reaction.
A dream come true. To be able to represent Team USA was something that, you dream of as a child, and to have that opportunity is something that, I'll cherish forever.
Crew are next up Saturday night at 10:30 at LAFC. And in the NFL, Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott said today there's nothing wrong with his ankle. He was just wearing a walking boot for precautionary reasons. Said it's the one that he snapped 4 years ago and he's getting older. Breaking sports news on The Fan.
Always as tender as a well-done steak. This is Rothman and Ice.
All professionals wear walking boots for the fashion. Don't you know that?
Dad, come on, man.
It's not what you want to be saying if you want to get paid.
Absolutely not. Well, he probably is like, you know what, Air? I could say whatever I want about injuries. Heck, they paid me the last time I was hurt. They got to do it
in the hospital room. Jerry ran to he had a great bedside manner.
He got to do it again. But the fact that we heard Timmy there in his update hit us with that quote from Dak is just laughable. It may not be that serious, but if everything was okay, you ain't rolling around with a walking boot just for the heck of it. Like you said, like you're walking the runway with Paris Fashion Week. Come on.
You wouldn't say that it's absolutely nothing. That you wouldn't say, because it's not like it's not a copper fit. It's not me putting on the armor to go play golf.
By the way,
back brace, sleeve, ankle.
There's this dude.
There's nothing wrong.
There's this dude I see at the gym every once in a while, and he is copper fit from head to toe.
Must feel great.
I mean, both arms, both legs, like the weight belt. I'm just like, I see you, big dog. Get it in, baby. But he is living the copper fit life at the gym.
I had to upgrade the I have probably need a copper fit sleeve for the arm. But I have the back needed more. The back needed the magnets and the whole deal.
Magnets?
Like,
how does that work?
Well, there's a thought that magnets help relieve.
Okay. Didn't know that. Back pain.
Which is all sorts of pain relief.
My question every time is, how much stretching are we doing pre-round?
Okay, that's a good question. CB saw me stretching out there now. Loosening up the back just for this segment.
But you're just hopping on the first tee and Happy Gilmore in this thing.
Sometimes.
And away we go.
Yeah.
It's not good, big dog.
Do magnets really help with pain? Research does not conclusively support the use of magnets for pain. Electromagnetic therapy might help.
Maybe CB and I for Christmas this year, we could just buy you a whole bunch of copper fit sleeves, and you'll just be
perfect,
locked in.
I love it. That'd be a great gift.
Is it
coming with the Kansas City hoodie or?
I don't know where it is. You know how we were in the COVID area, and some of those ships were just getting lost. Like it must be out there.
Takes longer with the waves.
It must be out there somewhere. I don't know, big dog.
Yeah, that'd be good. I need the holistic. I need a lot of holistic healing. I think that's what I need. Mm-hmm. By the way, I'm going to the dentist today. And it's fine. It's the cleaning. I people that don't go to the dentist to get clean. I don't understand. I remember it was years ago. We were at the old location of the station, and we had, I don't know whether it was someone interning or somebody said, I haven't been to the dentist in years.
Yeah, that's rough.
I'm like, what?
That's tough. I hate going to the dentist because when they bring out those two little silver utensils, tools is what I'm going to call them. One of them is like kind of roundish at the top, and the other one is like this hook. And when they get to digging it, I hate that.
Are you talking about the little reflection mirror with the scraper?
The scraper. So, so the two things you described, one is definitely the scraper, and which is okay, but when they get near the gum line, that's everyone flinches there. The one thing I don't like, and it's mental for me, is what you're talking about, the polisher. And I've once asked my dentist, or the hygienist, is that serving any purpose other than trying to shine them up, like buff the car a little bit? And I don't think there is any purpose to that. And that gets near the gum line too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. It's that those tools near the gum line that's the problem. Now, where I was going with this was not the lack of enjoyment. It's when I go to the dentist, I always have to make sure that, I'm not wearing like a golf shirt I like today, like a decent shirt, any kind. Don't go to the dentist wearing anything but a ratty old gym workout shirt. I have one in the car. I'm going to throw it on when I get to the parking lot. I'm not going to, even that little Dairy Queen napkin bib they give you at the dentist is not going to stop.
You got to be ready for the splash zone.
Yes, the amount of fluids and things they're getting scraped and flushed out of there. Even though now, back in the olden days, they'd spray your mouth and then you'd lean over into that sink and spit. Now they have that suction that they throw in there and just suction out all the saliva. It's a totally different deal now. So you don't get all the drip.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Did you guys ever go to the dentist where you had to lean over into a little swirly sink?
That never really happened. They put like this
old era.
They put this kind of device, I believe, like under your tongue, and they tell you to close your mouth, and it kind of gets everything
the suction
out of there. I kind of like that. That doesn't bother me as much as the pick. When they come in there with that thing, I'm just like, can we get this over with as quickly as? Are you a tough toothbrush guy or a soft toothbrush guy at the crib? What do we use?
Should change the toothbrush a little more than I do.
Oh, I'm scared to ask. When's the last time you changed it?
I just did the other night because it was like, hang on, you have like 5 of these. Why aren't you changing? Like
the toothbrush you just threw out, was that something? Was that a carryover?
It's not a soft. It's one of those. It's probably an Oral-B. It's probably got a little bit of the hard and soft.
Well,
going
the one that you just threw out, was that a carryover from 2023?
Probably. I mean, we're only in July.
That's 7 months, big dog.
Well, they say you should change the toothbrush every time you go. So if you go twice a year, that's when you change.
They're supposed to be short relievers, not long relievers.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You're saying twice a year?
Am I wrong about this?
I don't know if that's right. I think you want to do it like probably every 2 months.
I was about to say either like 60 to 90 days.
He brushes his teeth 5 times a day, though.
I do brush my teeth at least twice a day.
I'm the brush in the morning, brush at night, mouthwash in the middle.
I'm usually 2 times a day. The showers, that's when it gets a little crazy, especially when it's hot outside, or just the bird baths. The bird baths are always popping off. But yeah, I am a brush it in the morning, brush it at night. You got to wash the face before you go to bed too, with the exfoliating soap. So you can have that glowing skin. Lets your skin glow.
Maddie's bedtime routine must be at least. What's the over-under on that? About 18 and a half minutes?
Usually what I'll do is I'll get a nice washcloth, get the soap on there, and I'll probably let the soap sit for about a minute and a half because you can feel it working on your skin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. You got to get it in.
It's nice. It's a nice deal. He's just not throwing some sort of Noxzema pad on there. He's going the whole route. The Dolphins made Tyreek Hill the highest paid receiver in NFL history. The problem with it was just a couple years ago.
Crazy, isn't it?
And so I just want to make sure Dr. Flights isn't texting me after all that.
Yeah, the toothbrush stuff. We got to get you some more toothbrush, big dog. Twice a year, that ain't it.
I just want to make sure, hey, quit talking down on the profession. This is and I'm not. Trust me, I go. I'm serious about it.
How about you tell him, why don't you get some things that are more comfortable for the people that are coming in there?
The chair is the comfort. That's all you're getting is the chair.
And then you get the pain of your gums bleeding to death.
Hey, got to floss more. That's what he'd say.
I don't floss enough, so he's probably right.
So when Tyreek Hill was paid $120 million, by the way, that was an extension. It was a 4-year extension. Here's another guy, put his name on the dotted line on a 4-year extension just a couple of years ago. And now we fast forward. And the market, because I don't even know if he's top. Is he top? He's not top 5 anymore, I wouldn't think.
He's scheduled to only make this year $19.6 million. So GM Rothman, you got a bit of a problem down there in Miami. And I think we got some sound from Tyreek talking about the market and where he is mentally with possibly getting a new deal.
I'm very excited to just be a part of, the old wave, which was $30 million, and Justin Jefferson came and surpassed that, man. So very, proud of those guys. Happy for obviously my teammate Waddle, getting his new deal. For guys like me, that's great. I'm 30 years old. Also looking for a new deal. So very, very excited to see where I fit in to like that category. It's amazing.
It's got to be the best feeling, doesn't it? Like, because he knows
he's $30 million at 120 for 4, so he's at 30 when he signed the extension. So he's 4-year 120, so he's at 30 a year.
But this year it's only 19. So he's not stepping on the field until you get him probably another deal that is
why is it only
19? Around $30 million. I will read this. It says Hill, however, is set to earn $19.6 million in 2024, the last year with guaranteed money.
Oh, that's it. Yep.
So that's a funky part of how some of these deals can work. But you hear him now, and he has to feel really good about everything because of how everything's unfolded. And your boy Justin Jefferson, he's at 35. AJ's at Brown's at 32, and Amon-Ra's at 30. What's fascinating about this deal?
He's at 32, I think.
What's fascinating about this deal is that you have the GM of the Dolphins being pulled in two directions here, and in big ways, because you have Tyreek Hill, the cheetah, who we know is one of the best in the sport and led the league last year in receiving yards per game, at $112. And on the other side of that, you're being pulled in the direction of your quarterback, who has come out publicly and said the market is the market. So when we heard Tua say that, I think that takes us inside his mind a little bit, because he sat back and he saw Trevor Lawrence get a big bag, Jared Goff get a big bag. And it can be very difficult to field a very good team when you have your quarterback and two receivers that are making $28 to maybe $35 million a year, and your quarterback making $50 million a year. So I cannot wait to see how they maneuver this situation in Miami, because they got some heavy-hitting contracts that they have to figure out. They got one done with Waddle, but the two that aren't done yet with Hill and Tua.
It's a headache.
It has to be,
right? It's a headache because one guy has technically, I hate to say, outperformed
Tyreek, but he has.
$30 million a year he's outperforming. But I also have to consider his age. So I cannot make this extension a long extension and put a ton of guaranteed money in it. So what I would do is probably deal with the short-term extension for him that would add guaranteed money and increase that annual average, like, say, get him up to 32, 34, right in that area. And then the whole Tua is a problem, because not that Tua hasn't earned it, but has he earned it? Meaning, or has the system and the team and him earned it? You can easily tell that they don't feel that he is a $50 million a year quarterback. Or they would have given him already,
I think they believe that. I don't know if they believe, AR, that he's north of, let's say, 53 to 55. And I think Tua's probably banging the table for that. I think I'd be shocked if his next deal wasn't at minimum $50 million a year. I don't know what else he needs to prove to him. He played every game last year and led the league in passing yards.
He needs to prove that he could, and this is no way to prove this, that he could be really good without this type of team around him.
But that's going to be impossible, because you're not going to remove those guys from him, because then you're just playing, a silly game there. When you play silly games, you get silly prizes. So he's got them by the you-know-what. Tua does.
Does he? Why can't they just...
Because what are your other options?
Let him go, tag him. Not let him go, but let him play the year, then maybe tag him.
He's not showing up for that. Then you're not going to have a quarterback. I just... In this situation, like, I hear you, because he was not good in that playoff game, but you never want to get too crazy about one game. But overall, they weren't good against elite teams or average teams last year, but that's not all on Tua. He was highly productive. So I just...
Because of his teammates.
See, I think we got to give him more credit than that.
He can throw a deep ball every now and then. He's system guy. You can tell.
I don't know, man. We got to give him more credit than that. I mean, Tua to me, he's not one of the top 5 to 7 guys in the league.
That's it. There's your answer.
But
so don't pay him like one.
Well, Jared Goff just got paid like that, and he ain't one of those guys either. He's not.
I think he's better than Tua.
I mean, I don't know if the gap's that big, though. I don't know if the gap is that big. So,
But
I'm not
$100 million guaranteed or something like that. Maybe
I can't
more.
remember off the top of my head. I just think their GM right now has to be stressed, like you said, about this. And I just don't know what the other option is, because we could always play the game of this guy's got to be better. They should make him wait and all that. But what is your option on the other side? If there's not a viable option, then you're going to have to pay the guys.
I'm understanding that. It is it is a price of doing business in the NFL if you want to be competitive. And so this is where they are. Maybe they can get him to sign something not like that. Maybe they can get him to understand that he can, even though he has been healthy, he has injury in his history. There is a little bit of a risk. He is on a great team with unbelievable weaponry. And this is who you are. This is who we are right now. And if they can get him into the mid-40s and maybe the guy's making $9 million, he might think that that's a good.
GM Rothman would have a big fight on his hand if that's the contract you're offering Tua. Big fight on your hand. You may not have a quarterback. And then your receivers are going to be mad at you. And everybody else is going to be mad at you.
Well, Tyreek won't be mad if he gets paid. Maybe. All right. We will come back. An AFC North team took a hit defensively. We'll tell you what that means. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Chops has serial killer eyes, and Reeser can grow a full beard before lunch. What can your friends do? Bishop and Friends.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Billiards Plus has everything for the master griller in your house. Come to their showroom, open the lid, and feel the difference in their grills. Professional top quality equipment at great prices with a huge selection ready to go home with you. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Are you or a loved one struggling with addiction? Pinnacle Treatment and Recovery Works are here to help guide you on a path to a better life. We offer residential addiction treatment, detox, and opioid treatment programs throughout Ohio that fit your unique needs. We make it easy to get started. We accept Medicaid, most commercial insurance, and our access center is open 24/7. A better life is possible. Visit pinnacletreatment.com/Ohio. Where there is treatment, there is hope.
Does our waiter look familiar? I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot.
If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
When you have to stop but don't really want to, stop at BP. Because BP has everything you need to keep it going. Fuel to keep the adventures going. The BP Me app to keep the savings and the commutes going. Snacks and drinks to keep the crew going. And the BP Me Rewards Visa to keep the rewards going and going and going. A stop at BP isn't a stop at all. Keep it going.
If you're obsessed with fantasy sports and gambling things, we have the slightly above average radio show for you. On the Money with Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Wednesday night at 8 on The Fan.
Hey, it's Chops. After my initial consultation with Awaken 180 Weight Loss, I had one thought in mind. I could do this. After my first week losing 7 pounds, I thought, I'm doing this. Every week, I found myself sticking to my plan and continuing to lose weight. Why? Because Awaken 180 is doable, a simple term with a whole lot of meaning. If you've tried to lose weight in the past, you know what I mean. Either it was too time-consuming, too confusing, or maybe you weren't eating enough. All valid reasons, all of which are put to bed with Awaken 180. By now, you probably know someone who's lost weight with Awaken 180. Ask them. I'd bet one of their first things they would say is the program is doable. Maybe their word would be easy or realistic, but they all mean doable just the same. If your goal is to lose weight and you want a program that makes sense, do what I did and call Awaken 180 Weight Loss. 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. Or reserve your consultation online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy skies today with a high of 86, maybe a few late day showers possible. Tonight, look for periods of rain, low 70. Heading into your Wednesday, we'll see the remnants of what was Hurricane Burrow. We're going to be looking at a very windy day. Winds could get as high as 40 miles per hour with periods of rain with a high of 82. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, Ice, tell them about it.
Yes, sir. Let me talk to you like L.A. Knight says, because I want to talk to you about the Schmitz-Cardell-Jones celebrity softball game, because it's on its way. It's on its way, and why picnic when you can Schmitnick? And it is presented by Monogram Home, Saturday, July 20th at 6:30 p.m. over at Huntington Park. Current Ohio State football players, they'll be taking on former Ohio State football players. Cardell Jones is the captain of the former players squad. Emeka Egbuka is the captain of the current players squad. Will Howard, Devin Brown, James Laurinaitis, Tyvis Powell, DeVere Posey, some of the names that will be in the building. Tickets are only $10, and they are available today at BuckeyeCruise.com. But also, we're giving away a family 4-pack of tickets to this event today and the rest of the week on our show. So stick with us if you're interested.
Sometimes things you just will them into existence. I think I should talk about winning the lottery more because maybe it'll happen. Because last week, about, 5 minutes after I mentioned the Jackets are going to get Sean Monahan, boom, it's done. And then
Rostradamus.
And then today, I don't even know why I brought this up with Arch Manning, because it had nothing to do with him being on the quarterback of the depth chart where he is behind Quinn Ewers. It had really nothing to do with that. I think it was just a leadoff to another point in his journey, which was not doing the NIL deal to do the college football video game. We do that segment, 10 minutes ago, and the commercial happens, and as I'm going out there to heat up some lunch, Maddie says, "You're not going to believe what just happened." Like, tell me. So tell him what happened.
Arch Manning is officially in the game. He's getting his EA Sports on, and you can play with Arch Manning in the new EA Sports College Football 2025 game. And here is a little video soundbite, if you will, of he and Uncle Eli cooking up this announcement.
All right, here we go. Let's go gun far. Sigma right nasty. Z Riz. F whirly bird. Alert scarecrow. All right, use a little cadence here. All right, you ready?
Are you sure about this?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the best way to focus on football, all right? So get your eyes on the safety. Be vocal out there.
Yes, Coach. Uncle E.
It's better.
Green 18. Green 18. Omaha. Set.
All right, there he is. There he is. Now. Boom! Touchdown! Now that's why you're in the game.
All right. It's weird because I need the follow-up, because if you're going to make a big deal to try to not be in the game and then you're going to come back and decide to be in the game, I have to know what changed.
He'd say, Uncle Anthony, they cut me a fat check.
A separate check?
I don't know. I love to hear his answer too, but that's where my mind goes, is that, you know what? If you want me in the game, let's run up the coin, because yesterday's price is not today's price, as Fat Joe taught us. So, look, that's what I'm saying. These college kids, you want to be a part of this. This game's been out of sight, out of mind for so long. It's going to be such a huge deal when it drops.
Yesterday's price
thank you.
is not today's price.
Yep.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
That's what he told him. And now he's in the game. And good for him. You don't want to be left out of this thing.
No, and like I said, I complimented him earlier. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm just curious on what changed. And maybe the answer is the obvious. That he got what he wanted. That he wasn't going to sell out his name, image, and likeness for $600 in a video game. Or a DVD. Those exist, Manny? Got a few for you if you want some.
Blu-ray was popping.
Way before, yeah.
When Blu-ray dropped, it was like, man, this seemed like you're watching a whole new world. A new fantastic point of view. Blu-rays were the best when they dropped.
By the way, a better story might be the fact that over July 4th weekend, that Joey Chestnut decided to eat 200 wings in under 38 minutes.
He's a sick man. He's a sick man.
All you could eat boneless?
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I don't know. He wasn't clean in the others, I think.
I'm not mad at that. But 200 boneless wings, and what was the amount of time?
Under 38 minutes.
Yeah, that's sick, man. Joey, I see you. Keep cashing the checks.
200 of those buttery giblets.
I'm worried about you, Joey. I'm worried.
Decided to go off on his own like Arch.
But he's in.
I don't want, listen, breaking. This isn't breaking news. It was only breaking because you and I had just talked about it, ironically. I don't even know why, but maybe just I felt something, a weird tremor in the force or something. But yeah, he's
Jedi? May the force be with you? Is that what you're doing over there?
Let go. Use the force. I did today. He's the most notable player to opt in.
Yeah, because everybody was already in.
Right. His whole deal was I'm focused on playing football. You can still focus about football on the field and still at some point in your day, in your 24-hour day, decide to sign off on this. So that's the real tough question is, okay, what changed? Because you can't just tweet out what he tweeted out. I'm, quote, in the game, right? Now, maybe the Faja Coop talked to Peyton and Eli and said, you should probably do this. But this whole, I'm not in the game because I'm focused on playing football on the field. What other responsibilities would he have had to EA by just donating his name?
Who knows?
He's supposed to show up randomly and play video games against people? Like, it's now... He's not on the cover. Yours is on the cover of some, right?
Yeah, Quinn's on there. Somehow, some way, Donovan Edwards got on there, which is just perplexing to me. But CB keeps reminding me that some Michigan person has their fingerprints all over how this game is getting cooked up.
Not only is he on it, but he's got like a 94 rating on ball carry vision, which did not reflect last season when he played.
At all. But, yeah, Quinn Ewers is on the cover.
Nothing like getting slammed on your video game attributes.
It's just like when they dropped the cover, I was not expecting to see Donovan Edwards smack dab in the middle of the game cover. Like, if he was somewhere on there, then I'd be like, okay.
You didn't want to meet him in the middle?
To be fair, he's off to the right-hand side of Travis Hunter.
Okay, but those are the names like Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders, Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, like those type of guys. Donovan Edwards, really? You love him, too.
I don't love him. I just... No, I don't care. I just feel like that's really it for me. I guess what I looked at it as, and you guys may be right, I looked at it as they probably felt they had to include somebody off a national champion from last year.
We'll put Will Johnson on there. I respect that. He can go at corner.
That would have been another fine choice.
Yeah.
I don't know why this happened, but it's not. Listen, he had the big home runs against Ohio State
2 years ago.
2 years ago, right? And then they won the Natty this year. And I think you're probably underselling him a bit in the Natty in the title game this year. I mean, he did have a really good title game, right?
I'm not talking about the title game. I'm just saying the headliners around college football. I don't know if a lot of college football fans are looking at Donovan Edwards as a headline name. That's my pushback on the cover. That's all.
You're probably correct. My thought on it is that they probably took a guy who was key in them winning the title in the title game last year and off a national champion and decided to put him on that cover.
Put Connor Stallions
amongst with the group.
I'd respect that more.
You could do that too if you wanted to.
When is his punishment coming?
Off to the left.
When is the punishment coming?
His punishment was that he was jettisoned out of the deal. He was
gone.
He was.
And they're
that's
good.
right.
And they're good now.
Right. Your deal is what's the line in? Careful.
Well, careful there. We're on the air, baby.
Listen, I'm a professional. That was.
I got a little worried right there.
Don't get worried.
Oh man, what line are you looking for?
What was the line in Batman when you
live long enough?
No, not the whole hero line. When you had to choose.
Oh, like the pull sticks?
No. I'll figure it out.
We got a break to do it. Oh, by the way, pay off on your tees real quick. Cam Sutton suspended 8 games for the Steelers. One of their starting cornerbacks.
Well, we'll get to that.
We can get to that. But just, for the Steeler fans that were holding on.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get it out there.
All right, we can do that next as well. And also, as long as we're talking about one of Maddie's favorite teams, let's continue on the offensive rebuild in Ann Arbor. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things that you love? Bone-on-bone pain in your knee? Arthritic pain like I was having in my knee? Maybe your hip, your back, your shoulder? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that you can get lasting relief from. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day here in Columbus, led by Dr. Ray Tesner. I'm talking about cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Listen, my dad was having knee pain. I was having knee pain. So we went over to QC Kinetics, and they were able to help us out. And 2 years out, I'm still feeling good. My dad can still move around. So learn how QC Kinetics can treat pain and enhance your joints and restore your mobility and give you long-term lasting relief with no downtime. So check them out. Go to 380-208-4544 or head to one of their offices in Dublin, Gahanna, or now the new one that's most recently opened in Grove City.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. If you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You would just ask these questions. Should I sell when my home's value is sky high? Or wait and hope that the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move. You don't need a crystal ball with Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you'd like. When you sell your home to Truehold for its best current value, you can fully cash out on your home's equity, and you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and all the maintenance and upkeep, too. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. You can get an offer now while your home's value is sky high and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. It's your money. Do whatever you want with it. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's best value without moving. Again, that's Truehold.com.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The best of 2 leagues meet again this summer. Catch the stars of MLS and Liga MX as they show off their skills at the 2024 MLS All-Star Skills Challenge presented by AT&T. Tuesday, July 23rd at Lower.com Field. Tickets start at $25. Get your tickets now on Ticketmaster.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes great pride in providing great customer experience and quality product to every job they do. From the first phone call to the end of your project, they'll know who you are. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes drinks like Coke and Sprite, Pepsi, and Mountain Dew. And that adds up. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
Turn any picnic into a Schmitnick. Whether you order online, pick up at Schmidt's, or need catering, we bring the delicious flavors of our famous sausages to your celebrations. Why picnic when you can Schmitnick?
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's sea to shining sea, and water damage as far as the eye can see.
It's America.
It's freshly mowed grass and a fence that was freshly vandalized by a pack of unruly teens.
It's America.
It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
The light is fading. Your hands are sore.
and the last tool's been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
True to his name, Matty Ice wears a winter coat in the middle of summer. He lives the gimmick, man. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
So I believe the quote I was looking for was from The Dark Knight Rises. When they're like, Bane has no authority here. This is merely a sentencing hearing. The choice is yours, exile or death. And the exile was death. The dream dies. You're walking out onto the ice, and you got about 15 yards before it's going to happen. So when you asked about Stallions, he chose exile.
Okay.
The dream dies. It's over.
Dark Knight Rises was an absolute hit. I didn't know how they would do following up the first Batman of the newest trilogy, when you had the Joker just absolutely being crushed by Heath Ledger. God rest his soul. He absolutely killed that role. But then you circle back around and you drop The Dark Knight Rises with, Anne Hathaway as Catwoman, and Bane was absolutely a beast in that one. The scene with Bane, and I believe it is the opening scene in the airplane.
Yeah, that's
I didn't know
one of the stronger opening scenes you could have.
I didn't know or if they could top the bank robbery scene with the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty darn close. You talk about announcing a presence as a villain. That's how you do it. And then you go into Heinz Field and crumble the field? Yeah. He was absolutely beautiful. Who played him again? Remind me of who he was. The actor that played Bane. Sad that I'm forgetting that.
I don't know his name. I don't.
I think you do.
Would I know him from? Oh,
you know him.
It's Tom Hardy.
Yes.
So Tom Hardy, I do know him. And he's in a movie that I watch whenever it comes on with the late James Gandolfini, and it's called The Drop. I'm not going to oversell this. It's not a great movie, but he's great in it.
Okay.
Tom Hardy is fantastic in it.
Yeah, he was on one. one. In the Dark Knight Rises. I still would lean.
I didn't know that was him, and I've seen The Drop like 5 times, and I did not know he was Bane.
Yeah, that's him, man. He absolutely went crazy.
How did he? I mean, he got jacked for that.
Oh, yeah. He was in the lab. He was off that Thor workout plan. You can do the Thor workout plan to get your arms looking like that. Like, that's what Bane was on. I still would lean Heath Ledger as the Joker better than Bane. Heath Ledger was in his bag when he was in that Joker role. Like, he was just...
Well, it's an original villain from Batman, so that helps. But you're exactly right. Him playing that character versus I won't call made up, a fictional villain. They're both fictional villains, but one was in the original Batman. But yeah, that was solid.
It's good stuff, man.
Good
all the way around.
Good twist in that movie too.
Yeah,
a lot of twists and turns in that movie. The twist that Michigan's going to take here is, I don't listen. Do I have them falling off a cliff? It's kind of it's one of those a little bit of wait and see, and I know that's obvious, but think about everything that they put into last year, and I mean everything, and then a lot of people that were so instrumental in that are gone, and they have their first national title in 26 years to show for it, and so they're going to tell you it was worth it 10 out of 10 times, and I felt that way along their ride. I kept saying that every move they make, when Harbaugh didn't show up for the hearing, like, oh, I'm going to fight this, and all of a sudden I'm not. Like, it's one of those things where, like, no, eye on the ball. We've got the team to win it. Let's not distract, even though we have to play a little defense on the Stallions thing. Let's try to guide our way, and they did. And McCarthy and most of the offensive line and everybody else, is there enough talent coming back? Are they going to have a good defense? Yeah. I mean, Sharon Moore has to find a quarterback. That seems a little weird when you're thinking about Alex Orji, who was the Wildcat guy we saw, Jack Tuttle. I mean,
it's your boy from IU.
I know.
Isn't it?
I mean, What does he have over the others? Experience. That's it. This isn't like a Will Howard thing.
Is this like year 7 for him? How long?
I believe Jack Tuttle was the high school quarterback for Chris Olave, which is the way they found out about Olave. I think that was the connection.
He is from California.
That does sound. I think you're absolutely right on that.
Let's see. If he got to IU when he was, should we call him 18 when he got there?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, so 18. He was there in 2019. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. He's got to be at least 23.
I see you, Jack.
Which isn't Chris Wanky kind of stuff.
Or the guy that was at Miami. Wasn't it the guy at Miami that was like year 9 or 10, I believe, playing college football last year? Like the COVID years made this a complete mess. But you're absolutely right to bring up the questioning when it comes to the quarterback and what we get there. And you aren't the only one. ESPN college football analyst Greg McElroy had this to say about Michigan and their situation on offense.
The problem is on offense. And I know they're going to be able to run the football. That's what they do. I look at the offensive line, and there are more question marks there for me than there is for most. I think there are massive question marks at quarterback. Massive. And looking at the league and how it might change a little bit, the Big Ten you might need to score some more points to win games in the Big Ten. When you're playing SC, you might have to play and score 35 to win. Probably not with how your team's going to defend, but it's possible. So I look at how the game has changed, and the quarterback question mark is significant because a 5-man quarterback battle in the spring is not something that has me feeling real good about that position. I think Orgy's a great athlete. I think Tuttle's been around for a long time. You got a couple other guys that obviously have some talent, but that is a legitimate question mark for me.
So Alex Orgy, AR, has completed one pass at the collegiate level between 2022 and 2023. You mentioned the Wildcat stuff, and he's done that at a decently high clip. I mean, I don't even know if I should give him that much. He had 15 carries last year, the entire year. So no matter who the quarterback is, they're going to have a nice support system with the run game. I think that will be there, but their defense really might be asked to do a ton this year. And you got to wonder, will that catch up to them if they don't get consistent quarterback play and enough chunk plays every now and then? You got to have those to keep a defense honest. They got a new defensive coordinator in Wink Martindale. So he's coming in from the NFL, and you know what they're going to do there. You know what he's going to do is absolutely heat you up, because he was with my Ravens for a while from 2018 to 2021. And every single year that he was a defensive coordinator, the Ravens ranked top 6 in the NFL in blitz rate. So they're going to be an aggressive defense, but you got to wonder, how aggressive can you continue to be if you don't have confidence as a defensive coordinator that your offense is going to stay on the field a ton. So I believe in their tight end, Colston Loveland. I think that dude can pop up easily in the mix for the John Mackey Award on offense. But outside of him and Donovan Edwards, it's a lot of unknown for them on offense right now.
The good news for them is they get two of their 3 biggest games at home. They get Texas and Oregon at home.
Yeah.
And so if they can split those, lose to Ohio State, split those, and somehow avoid getting upset by a nothing, then they'll be a 2-loss team and they'll be in the playoff. That'll be it. That would be my if I was pitching a goal, that would be it for me, because there's nothing. I can't imagine having, and I got to tell you, the other part about it is not only you breaking in a new quarterback, you don't have anybody on that line back. Like, what, one guy, it looks like? And so, and if they have any injuries, like, this is what you pay for sometimes when you go all in, and they got it. And so that's what they're going to be. Now, could they be a take us for granted, sleep on us team, and maybe we'll bite you? Of course, because they're going to have a crowd there. They're going to have Oregon coming in. They're going to have Texas coming in early, so you don't know how fully formed. But you would think Texas would have a big advantage over them coming off last year. Now, they do have to go to Washington. Washington's not Washington of last year. They're going to get the same. In fact, the rematch of the title game is a complete brand new nothing.
For sure.
It's all new.
And they got SC coming to their house a week after.
They could be a top 25 team.
Texas,
could be, yeah.
Texas, Arkansas State, and then USC with Lincoln Riley. And we know his offenses usually have some bite to it more times than not. Now, their defense, they don't have much of that going on, but that could be a nice little test for Michigan's defense early on to see the Trojans come into Ann Arbor.
The odds of Michigan being undefeated when they play Ohio State on November 30th is probably about 10%.
Slim, yeah.
Yeah. And the odds of them having one loss before they play Ohio State is probably
pretty high. 80?
Well, no, I was going to say only one.
Only
loss.
one?
If they only have one, would be somewhere in the 50% range, I think. And then this is who they are, and then you get into a deal where, by the way, if they have two losses coming to Ohio State, I think that'd be a victory for them. Now, if the two losses are Texas and Oregon, and they beat everybody else, okay, then they'd have a win and get in kind of feel. But coming to Columbus, being that big of a dog with everything that's going on in that rivalry, we know. So it'll be interesting to watch to see if they have the hangover of all hangovers this year. All right, coming back, Buckeye Bulletin. Speaking of those Buckeyes, Ryan Day on scouting the portal. What's the strategy? Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Question from a listener. Do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Jerry.
Remember when we first met?
I was just starting Eco Plumbers and looking for a silent partner.
And I had just invented sneakers with lights in them and was looking for somewhere to invest my fortune.
I didn't even think inventor was an actual job.
I didn't think plumbers started companies.
Get Eco.
As I recall, you thought the name Eco was a pretty good idea.
As a full-time inventor, Aaron, it's just that kind of creative thinking that caught my attention. Simple, memorable, singable.
Get Eco.
And it reminds homeowners that modern plumbing can make economical sense and ecological sense at the same time. Waste less water and save money on your utility bills.
Get Eco.
Instead of just sitting here raking in royalties after inventing that little plastic hanger that socks come on, I might as well be a silent partner in a company that's doing good.
You're not all that silent, as silent partners go.
But I am charming, Aaron.
Get Eco.
GetEco.com.
Soak up the savings this summer from Family Dollar. It's never been easier. Just download the Family Dollar app, sign up for smart coupons, and see how you can save more than ever before. Enjoy smoking hot deals on cookout classics or get ready for outdoor fun with SPF for the whole family, plus pool toys, decor, and so much more. Check out the app today and get ready to save with the Family Dollar Summer Savings Event. New offers drop every week. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Bath Authority. You spend a ton of time in your bathroom, and if you're trying to ignore your old, outdated bath or shower or that mold and mildew along with the broken tiles, you gotta call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. And all Bath Authority products are 100% made in the USA, and they can be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
One of the most important Buckeye football seasons ever is coming. The Fan is your home for all the news and interviews you need as fall camp approaches. Join us. We're a friendly bunch of degenerates. Your Buckeye station, The Fan.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. And I mean everything. Top-tier equipment? Check. 24-hour access? You bet. Free fitness training? Always. Workouts in the free PF app? What'd I tell you? Even super friendly team members.
Hey, welcome to Planet Fitness.
Oh, hey. I was just mentioning you.
Hey.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th. See Home Club for details.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you? you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BICEP to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BICEP to 321-321. That's BICEP to 321-321. Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on train systems, including 0% APR for 60 months.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. Just started thinking about what that spread will be come November 30th. Just in the math we've been doing on Ohio State and Michigan. If I think that Michigan's going to be a 2-loss team, and let's say Ohio State, at worst, would be a 1-loss team. I mean,
10 too high?
It feels like.
Well, I believe that's what it's opened at. So
Yeah.
if you're trying to imply the scenario he's talking about, it's probably going to move a little bit.
14. How's that land on your palate?
Sounds about right.
It was
not even across. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, depending on how they look, I mean, Ohio State could be a 2-touchdown favorite. You know,
the former athletes always tell us that have played in this game, the whole kind of throw the records out and all that stuff, and that has shown itself, and not just this rivalry, but other rivalries too, right? Where you can have what's perceived to be a pretty decent favorite coming in, and the team that is their rival that's not on their level finds the way to scratch and claw and make it interesting. But it just, with I think the comfort that a lot of people have with what Ohio State's team looks like on paper right now and the question marks on the other side, I wouldn't be shocked if we got to that point and it's at minimum Vegas telling us or throwing at us a 10-point spread.
Oh, that's minimum.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm with at minimum, right.
Minimum. And the toughest thing, and that's why betting it now, yes, you get the benefit of maybe the lower spread, but you don't get the benefit of knowing who's healthy, who's not, who might get.
Right.
That's the worry. And then tying it up for many, many months. But people have done that already with betting them with futures. Ryan Day knows what's on the line. We've said it for a while. It's obvious. Their chips are in. They've done everything they can. He's done everything he can as far as trying to maximize his impact on this team. And he sat down with Joel Klatt. We'll play a couple more clips for you. This is the obvious expectations that come with being a guy in his position.
C.J. Stroud says it the best. He says pressure is a privilege. And that means you're relevant, and that's kind of the way I've always lived my life, is that, you want it all on the line. And it is on the line every week here. It's on the line every day here. That's just how it goes. And so, we bring in guys who want it that way. We're bringing players that want it that way because we know how much it means to so many people in the state of Ohio. And so every year you identify the things that you got to enhance. Every year you learn from the year before. And then, the things you have to tweak and change, that you got to do that. And I think I've realized that more and more every year, that this job's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
You got to make hard decisions. And for somebody who takes relationships, very, very serious, and you got to make some hard calls. But there's a lot riding on it, and you got to make those hard calls.
I didn't know we needed to credit CJ with the pressure is a privilege saying there, because I love that one. I think that's real, but I thought Coach Day was cooking that up. But I'm here for it. I'm surprised we haven't seen it on T-shirts everywhere. Maybe the team has them and they rock them around the building. But I think that's
originally it was Billie Jean King, like way back.
Oh, okay.
The name, the book, and all that. So, but yes,
you think CJ knows that?
I don't know if he knows it. I think he's probably heard it along the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
I
don't know where she got it from. As far as when the book was released 15, 20 years ago, whatever. Like, who knows? Maybe she heard it growing up as a kid.
Either way, I'm here for it. I like it. And Coach Day, he's well aware of the importance of this season. And maybe it's for him individually. I don't know. We can't dive into Ross Bjork's mind and some of those people over there. But just as far as where he's been, right, as a head coach, You zoom out from the Michigan stuff, the record looks really good. But at the end of the day, you can't really zoom out from that because that's what it's all about. And those handful of losses plus that are on his resume, I'm sure is what keeps him up at night. And that obviously motivates him to do some different things that you mentioned and go get some new names in the transfer portal and tweak the coaching staff and all those things. What you got to do as a head coach is keep taking swings at this and not be stuck in your ways. And I think that's one thing that I like about what Coach Day has done here is he's trying different things to elevate Ohio State to the top of the mountain and have them be the last team dancing.
You said it right. You don't get the headline of the 56-7 or whatever. You don't get that headline when you've had what's happened to him and his team in the game. You don't get it. And he knows it. And his record in big games, I thought he got over the hump. The Notre Dame game was massive with what Kyle did and the whole thing with Lou Holtz leading up to that. You could tell that was a different Ryan Day leaving that field. You and I did hours upon hours on that about, well, now you have to back that up. Like we did, and it was fun.
Lou?
It was fun, right?
I love
exactly.
That, man. And you're right. What you just brought up is so real because that is one of those moments to where it's a human moment where he tells us without telling us with his actions that I've heard the noise.
Yeah,
I've heard the noise.
Because a lot of coaches will say we worry about what we can control and the cliche Play-Doh factory that just gets churned out every week.
Yeah.
That's when guys are calm. He was a player. He gets it, right? This is a coach who was a player. And so he understands the emotion, and he understands his team, and he wants to win as badly as they do. Go ahead. I was going to say, I witnessed this with John Cooper when they won the Rose Bowl in 97. Like, I witnessed a guy, when Jack Arut's interviewing him on the field, I'll never forget this. He's like, we did win the big game, and there was another thing that got thrown out there. It's like, you print that, or like, say it what it is. Like, he finally did it. And I think that Ryan Day is kind of at that point now where the talking is big, the talent is bigger, and coaches would take the talent and the expectation over less expectation and less talent. It just says a little bit about who you are.
It's not apples to apples, but they're kind of like the San Francisco 49ers in the NFL, where you're close. You got all the talent. Everybody talks about how good your roster is. You got this good head coach, but you don't grab the ultimate prize, and it's time for him to grab the ultimate prize. Can I get about 10 seconds of Lou Holtz real quick before we go to break? Can I get a little...
Listen, what I said about Ryan Day is no implication on how I feel about the Ohio State Buckeyes. Listen, I think that he's at a point now where you tip over into embracing what it is. Instead of trying to distract and deflect, Ryan Day, I think, has done a phenomenal job of acknowledging without obsessing.
Like the tribal chief,
and here
acknowledging it.
Is that it?
Yeah, Roman Reigns.
Well,
our tribal chief's on his way back, CB, and he may be making his appearance in your stadium up in Cleveland in less than a month. Acknowledge Roman Reigns.
We'll acknowledge what he feels about the transfer portal when we come back. And Maddie, Joe Burrow wants a reunion, and he wants it in gold. We'll tell you what that means next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes great pride in providing great customer experience and quality product to every job they do. From the first phone call to the end of your project, they'll know who you are. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
The Beat the Heat fan campaign is underway. Help Ohio's most vulnerable residents this summer. Purchase new box fans and take them to the nearest Franklin, Madison, or Marion County fire station. The Fan 10 TV Beat the Heat fan campaign is sponsored by Newman Roofing.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a new golfer, think beyond the green and head over to X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell. Come experience the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world at X Golf. A fun venue with great food, excellent service, and a full bar. You can play around on one of our 50 courses, take a lesson from our PGA Pro, hit the driving range, join a league, or just sit back and sip a beer on the outdoor patio. Book your tee time today at playxgolf.com. X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell, the home of indoor golf.
This summer, click into easier yard cleanup with same-day delivery from the Home Depot.
Click into clearing overgrown grass or weeds with effortless gas-like power. And click into the convenience of a battery platform compatible with over 250 tools with the Milwaukee M18 Fuel Trimmer, now for just $199. Click into power with 4th of July savings now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select in-stock items by 4 p.m., subject to availability.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team? Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. The Cavs are closing in on their debut in the NBA Summer League in Vegas. All the talk is currently on Bronny James and the Lakers. We get why. Cleveland will start play Friday versus the Magic. Their lone 2024 draft pick, that's 20th overall, Jalen Tyson, shooting guard from Cal. He averaged almost 20 a game this past season. He'll make his first appearance. To baseball, Reds got the Rockies in Game 1 last night. 7:10 first pitch tonight as they take on Colorado again. Nick Lodolo is pitching. The Guards dropped Game 1 in Detroit on Monday. Game 2 set for 6:40 this evening with Ben Lively on the hill. In the NFL, Steelers cornerback Cam Sutton has been suspended for the first 8 games of the season for violating the personal conduct policy. He was released by the Lions in March after being arrested for misdemeanor battery charges. Then the Steelers signed him. This one is sponsored by Nature Stone. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, final hour of the program. Joshua Perry, great former Buck at 2:33. Talk Ohio State football with him. Nothing to really report on the CBJ head coaching hire at the moment, but you've got to feel like it's down to 3 or 4. I know it's kind of being tossed around. Threw out that name, Todd McClellan, to you guys a couple weeks ago. Sharks, Oilers, Kings. He was fired coming off back-to-back first-round losses, but let me tell you something. That dude made the playoffs like 6 or 7 years in San Jose, and he made the conference finals twice. Now, and I remember when I tweeted that, and I said, like, he worked, people say, oh, he worked with Babcock. Yeah, 20 years ago, and they won a lot, including a cup. And I'll tell you another thing. Jay Woodcroft, who was hired as the video coach for the Wings, who went to work for McClellan, he won the cup in 2008 as Detroit's video coach, and later then went to San Jose. He's a candidate here for the CBJ, because he was replaced by Knobloch, who is interesting. Then they went all the way to the final. But so I would say between Jay Woodcroft, Todd McClellan, Dean Evison is a name to think about because he was the coach for the Wild, never got out of the first round. He was hired by the Caps a while back, went to the Wild as an assistant coach, and then he was an interim coach in Minnesota. And then they pulled that interim tag, and then he became the coach. And he had some winning seasons there. And then he got off to a bad start in, last year? And then they whacked him too. So this is what happened. So I would say I know Jeff Blashill's name's been thrown out. He was coached, ironically, the Wings for about 7 years. So it's like a lot of Detroit connection here. But he's been a big member of Team USA's coaching staff for all the international stuff. I was surprised to hear that Gerard Gallant was kind of on the outside looking in on this. That was interesting to me. But because he did very well in Vegas, and then oddly was fired there. And then, you lead the Golden Knights to a Stanley Cup appearance in the first year of their existence. Then you went to the Rangers, made the Eastern Conference Final. But I feel like if you were stacking this up, it would probably be McClellan, Woodcroft, Avison. I'd probably handicap it that way. And then a couple others that I mentioned.
So what you're saying is the Big Don's in the lab right now.
Oh, I think it's happening
Don
this week.
Is in the lab, and he is, I'm sure, running all these guys through the ringer because that's what you got to do. This has been a massive summer for the CBJ, and will continue to be that based off of this decision because hopefully whoever the next guy is will be around for a while. And when you have a guy that's around for a while, usually you're having success. So fingers crossed for all of us Jackets fans that the list of candidates that you just ran through, one of those guys will be here for 2024 and beyond because there's just been way too much change for whatever reason. And there's a lot of things we can identify. Sometimes it's on the coach, sometimes it's not. Injury stuff, off the ice stuff. It was a mix of everything over the last couple of years, but that's what this franchise has just been missing is just consistency. The good teams, no matter what sport we're talking about, usually from the top down, have that with everybody on the same page because that can get you headed in the right way.
It also depends on the almighty dollar. How much do they want to pay for a coach? Because these guys are getting paid by other teams, so they'll have to negotiate with them on how much do we have to pay, are you going to still pay, and all that. And so now there's been kind of a surge in some salaries, but because listen, McClellan was making $5.5 million with the Kings. I think I'd have to go back that he was one of the highest, if not the highest paid coach. So it's where are we in that? They paid Mike Babcock $4 million not to coach. Like, I don't know how much they want to pay him in that send-off, but this is an organization that's going to pay a new coach, paid Babcock, probably just got finished with my boy Lars, who's going to Calgary as an assistant. And so when you think about if you want to put all of them on the payroll for a second, you're going to pay three coaches.
I don't care what they do.
One job.
I don't care. Just figure it out, AR. It ain't my money. It ain't coming out of my check. Just get the darn decision right, please.
Well, they had it right, I thought, with Torts. But a shelf life of a coach. We see it in all sports. And it's interesting in hockey because you've had guys like win championships and get booted and trots and this, and things just run their course, and then they want to reset the salary at head coach. And that's what they've done here the last couple of go-arounds if you don't include Babcock. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated. I would be pretty surprised, I think, if this trailed into next week. Now, that wouldn't be a bad thing if they get, like you say, the right guy. If they're just the negotiation just went a little further, we'll see. Read this earlier today that, listen, Joe Burrow is coming back with a vengeance, right? He wants to tell people, what was his line the other day? Show them what they're missing? Or what was the line?
He may have the sound for you.
What was the line he had about,
I've got the
forgotten guy kind of deal?
CB, let me know if you want me to read it or not, because I know that we played this yesterday. He was on the Pardon My Take podcast.
Do you think people have forgotten about Joe Burrow?
I believe that.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get hurt, though. You don't play football, people forget about you.
Yeah, which I like the spot you're in right now because I feel like
I love the spot.
Yeah, like AFC, everyone's like, oh well, you know, Josh, Lamar, and Patrick, CJ Stroud. It's like you're forgetting one guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but again, that's part of the game. If you're not out there and people aren't watching you, then there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give people something to talk about this year. I'm excited about it.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Is that Shania Twain? Who's singing that?
I
don't know why her name popped in my brain.
I think that was Will Ferrell who sang that.
What movie was he singing that in?
Step Brothers.
But who's singing the original of that? I don't know why.
Bonnie Raitt.
Oh, Way off. I don't know why I said Shania Twain. I had a Bengal fan call me yesterday. One of my good friends who's a diehard Cincinnati fan.
I shouldn't have said good friend. You said I had a Bengal fan call me.
And he said, I heard
Put
you
your
guys.
number out there,
I
Matty.
heard you guys talking. He heard the clip and he's like, my quarterback's crazy for saying that. Like, you can't play that card when you're Joe Burrow. You just can't. So, and that's fine. If that's going to motivate him, then that's probably going to work out well for Bengal fans. Yeah. But to hear him say that is just funny to me because nobody ever forgets about Joe Burrow because he's too good.
No, and he did a fashion show in Paris. It's not like he's been completely out of sight, out of mind. Like that hit social media big time. What's crazier? Him saying that I'm a forgotten guy or thinking he could actually play flag football in the Summer Olympics in 2028? At 55.
I'm going to go
way.
with give me the latter on that. Because I don't think the Bengals are going to let him play in the Olympics.
Okay. I mean, if he goes 4 years of 0 injuries and they have a lot of success, dare I say it, even go all the way, then maybe what's forgotten is his injury history. Like if he'd go 4 seasons with nothing major, and then here comes the 2028 Summer Olympics, and now so there's a growing list, by the way, of NFL stars who are loving this. Like, I want to get in this. So he dropped the, I really want to play. Is this another soundbite, CB, you have? Let's hear him on. This is the Pardon My Take podcast as well.
Saw an interview of you where you said that you were thinking about maybe trying to join the USA flag football Olympic
that'd be
team.
sick, wouldn't it?
Yes. We need you because we just lost to Japan.
Who? What?
The U.S. lost to Japan.
In what?
In flag football today.
No, we didn't.
I think it was real football.
Was it real football?
I think it might have been real football.
Yeah, I did notice that you got a small look in your eye when you found out that we lost to Japan. Like, I think you really want to play for the Olympic team.
Yeah.
I really want to play for the Olympic flag football team, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Like, me, Jamar, Justin.
Now you're just naming your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and my friends out there playing flag football.
Well, it's funny
in the
because, like,
Olympics.
if Joe's a guy that could be like, yeah, me and, like, my best friends could beat anybody in the world in football.
That's true.
Which is a cool thing to say.
That's a very cool thing to say.
I think it'd be really cool.
I'd be here for it. And I think if you got those 3 together again after what we saw in 2019, they probably bring it home. But I was not aware that we lost to Japan in real football. When did this happen?
I don't know any of this.
I think it was this World Cup of football that was going on like last month. And not only did they lose to Japan, they also lost to Austria. I think it was full of a bunch of like high school players on the team.
Oh, what are we doing?
Well, listen, it's
actually maybe more like D2, D3 college guys.
That's even worse.
Is it?
I'd give the high school kids some slack.
Football World Championships.
No, we're talking about real football.
This is
we
real?
lost to Japan.
Tackling?
Real tackle football.
Shoulder pads and helmets?
Yeah, man, knocking heads off. And we lost? That's a joke.
There's probably a reason you didn't hear about it because it really didn't matter.
I don't think they just lost. They got blown out. I think it was like 41-20 or something
That's
like that.
That's disappointing. Yeah, we got to send the Avengers now. We need the NFL players to correct this wrong in 2028. Send them. Send them in.
But this would be flag football.
I don't.
We'd be sending them in
one.
for a 5-man flag football
Either
team.
one.
Yeah, I these guys are the highest paid at their profession. I don't want them out there in some exhibition. I don't want them playing beach football or football at a picnic.
So you would have been mad as an owner seeing Tom Brady throw footballs around to some of those guys at the Michael Rubin party?
If he was still an active player.
No, there were some active players out there.
If he's standing there throwing the football, that's fine.
No, I'm talking about some of the receivers that we saw out there. It was like Odell and some other guys that were in the league.
I can't prevent them from
you finding them?
Having a little... Listen, they can get injured working out and training too. I get that. But the real problem is when you don't get hurt working out and training. When it's something like that, I know you can get hurt, walking out of your house. I get it, but if I'm Joe Burrow, I think this is all just fun, him to think about. But like I said,
they said he had a look in his eye when he found out.
The look in his eyes should be more about the Lombardi, and it probably is. And I know this is 4 years away, so I don't even know if NFL players will be suiting up for the U.S. in flag football.
That's a fair question.
Now, NBA and NHL, they're in the Olympics, so why would it just seems? I mean, it is only flag football. You're not hitting. Like, it's not the worst thing. I'm not trying to oversell the injury possibility, but
Hey, it's going to be interesting when we get there.
The good news is I have 4 years to warm up to it.
But you brought up a good point. Like the guys in NBA and the NHL, they're playing. CB, what do you got?
All right, some more details on that. It looks like it was like a U20 championship. So while Joe Burrow couldn't play, you could still put in like a Caleb. No, maybe not Caleb, but maybe like some actual like D1 FBS guys.
You can send Arch Manning.
There you go.
Maybe Coach Day's son by then. Will he be? Coach Day's son may be ready to get going in that.
I think he's a class of 27 high school kid.
Okay.
So that probably line up.
We'll see.
I mean, for Joe, it's not that big of a deal. You just dance around a little bit. You got no pads. You're not going to get hit. So it's not the worst thing.
But we did watch the man get hurt, getting flushed out of the pocket last year. And that's going to happen in flag football, too.
You know, it's the whiplash move. That's what it is. We'll come back with a pre-snap read, and we've got your boy.
Devontae?
Well, I was going to tease it differently, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you said my boy. I was just guessing. I don't know. I just seen stuff.
I was being funny. I was going to say Rodgers.
He is my guy.
But talk about picking friends to get back together. This one might mean more. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You can use your phone at a doctor's office. You can use your phone at a football game. You can even use your phone at an amusement park. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines now start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
When it comes to protecting your business, whether it's your staff, property, or assets, don't make a crucial mistake by contracting companies that provide subpar and unprofessional service. What you need is a security partner known for their unwavering professionalism and unnatural liability. You need Event Risk. Event Risk is a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company that not only specializes in on-site guarding, but also offers armed security associates and executive protection agents. Event Risk, elite protection for your peace of mind.
Hello, my name is Eric Rose, CEO and founder of Event Risk Security Services. We are a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company providing protection services and consulting to Fortune 500 corporations, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality security officers and the endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give us a try. For virtually the same cost, we can then address what keeps you up at night.
Visit EventRiskInc.com.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a hair in my soup. A long purple hair.
I'm so sorry. I'll get the manager.
I'm the manager. How can I help?
Wait, weren't you the Plum Insurance mascot?
What gave it away? My long purple fur?
Something like that.
What if all insurance companies were like NJM and were known for putting their policyholders first, not gimmicks? Then all those insurance mascots would have to get real jobs.
I'll pass on dessert.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
Quite a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box, Biatch.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Hi, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Need a perfect gift? Check out the new line of Glock watches and other stunning jewelry at Worthington Jewelers. Make every occasion sparkle with Worthington Jewelers, where exceptional gifts await.
Hey, it's Chops, and thanks to Awaken 180, I dropped my first 60 pounds in only 13 weeks. That's the same length as summer. Enjoy the summer months while creating the new you. Reserve your at-home consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
You can use your phone at a doctor's office. You can use your phone at a football game. You can even use your phone at an amusement park. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines now start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy skies today with a high of 86. Tonight we start seeing the remnants of Tropical Depression Burrow moving on in, going 70 for the nighttime low. We'll see some showers with the heaviest rain between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. Wet and windy tomorrow with a high of 82. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, boys, a little Bet365 time.
Because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary, and you can see for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5.
So, did you see my my hedge worked? My boy went hitless yesterday.
Hey, okay.
Mr. Wood. So that was pretty solid to get that back. I mean, I wasn't happy he went 0 for 4, and I was going against the trend, but the value was too good. It was plus 210.
Yeah.
The over under a half. Now, should I go back at it now and actually bet him to get a hit?
I like it.
Because of the hitless yesterday. So let me take a look and see what James Wood of the Nats would do if I can just get a hit here. So the cool thing about Bet365, you go to player props, and you get, I mean, you can do everything here. I mean, this is hit milestone, player hits, and let me see if oh, here he is. So the difference now is his over a half on a hit is minus 190. So I'd have to probably do a same game parlay on that and try to add something else to get it back to closer to even money. Now, if I bet him to go hitless again, it's plus 155, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So I'll try to pair it with something. Who do you like in that? I don't know, the pitching matchup. That would be interesting. It'd be Quintana. I could do the Jose Quintana to have over 3.5 strikeouts, which I think he will, with the James Wood hit. I'll do that.
Okay, there you go. I'm looking at the Guardians tonight. Detroit shut them out yesterday. That was surprising to see. But here we go. Again, beautiful thing about baseball is you wake up the next day and play another one. CB passed this along a few minutes ago that Jose Ramirez has announced that he will compete in the home run derby on Monday. So when you make that announcement, guess what you're going to do that night? You're going to hit a dinger. Give me Jose Ramirez plus 450 to hit a home run against the Tigers tonight. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only, and you must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
My buddy SK said that his former old OC at Capital years and years ago coached the under 20 for the U.S. last month. Said he had 2 weeks to put a team together.
Oh, that's tough.
Competition they've been playing for years. No NIL or D1 players are going to play. So I'll have to kind of tune into that a little bit and see what this is all about.
SK's got to holler at his OC and tell Coach, we got to get right. We got to hold it down for our country. Come on.
May need a little NIL.
Maybe SK needs to get back out there. What's he got? He got any juice left? SK, what do you got, big dog?
Play golf with him on Sunday. He's got one play left. I think that's about it.
What if the Bobby told us the story of Bill Parcells when he told the guy, I got one more fight left in me.
Don't make it be
don't
you.
Let it be you.
That is fantastic. All right, where were we? We were trying to come up with a trade.
Before I blew up your tees?
That's okay. Where are we with Devontae Adams reuniting with Aaron Rodgers? CB, set this up. Is this actually Devontae talking about Aaron trying to poach him?
Well, I will say Kay Adams on our show Up in Adams, she was trying to bait him maybe into an answer on that. And I don't think he's going to give you what you want, but here's his answer.
You two are boys, a lot of love for each other. You went to the Derby together. We see the pictures on the Instagram. Are you telling me he's not getting in your ear and saying, hey, I want to play with you again?
Oh, he's in that ear, that's for sure. he's in the ear, but it's not as easy as it. Obviously we can get together and talk about the old times and potential of doing this and that. But like I said, I'm a Raider, and he knows that. So we'll.
Good answer.
How do you really feel? Hey, the mics and the cameras are down. Devontae, how do you feel? Get me out of here.
I mean, they're at a point now. I mean, can you imagine how insane that would be if he could get him on the last run here with Garrett Wilson and his last run? That'd be something. It's, boy, I'll tell you, they need him to be great, Aaron Rodgers. Do you know how many touchdown catches they had by wide receivers last year, the Jets?
I'm going to say, well, that's a good question. You're saying wide receivers alone, correct? No tight ends in this. Just the wide receiver room?
I hopefully I'm right about this.
I'm going to go
adding
with...
them up, right?
It's under... it's definitely under 12. Under a dozen?
Maybe 112.
Where are we at?
I believe we're at 6.
Ooh.
That's
how many of those
incredible.
did G-Dub have? How many did Garrett Wilson have? You got that in front of you?
He had 3.
That's why the quarterback position is so
3.
important, folks.
Alan Lazard had 1. And Jason Brownlee had 1.
Who?
And Randall Cobb had 1.
Who is Jason Brownlee?
It's a great name, though.
Who is Jason Brownlee?
It's the young man out of Southern Miss.
Oh, man, they were down bad yesterday.
The other touchdowns went to Breece Hall, who caught 4, and C.J. Uzama, who caught 1.
Hey, the former Bengal. There you go.
11 total for the year.
Just passing TDs for the Jets.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah. Think about that for the season.
That's gross. Poor Jets fans. I mean, you talk about getting your heart ripped out. It's the opening game of the year. It's already highly emotional because of Rodgers' debut. It's 9-11. He runs out with the flag. 4 plays into the season, your guy blows his Achilles. And I will never forget, when they cut to Robert Saleh on the sideline, that camera shot, it literally looked like he was seeing a ghost.
And here's something even more strange. They won the game.
They did win that game.
They beat the Bills. And Zach looked good, or at least tolerable.
That's what Garrett Wilson made that.
Tolerable.
Garrett Wilson made that ridiculous touchdown grab, I believe, in that game, too. Mm-hmm. Where he kind of tipped it to himself and brought it back in. Yeah. The Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers thing, I don't think it's going to happen. But if it did happen.
He's 31 years old and he's still under contract.
Still a baller, too. With some quarterbacks that are just kind of, I mean, last couple years.
Yes.
Quarterback play's been very
I'm all
mid.
for it. I'd have to think about what, would you trade next year's first for him?
If I'm the Jets, yes. I'm already all in.
That's kind of where my mind is on that, like what it would take.
I don't think you'd have to give that up, though. I don't think you got to give up a 1 to get Devontae.
The Raiders would have to eat a lot of money, too. I don't know how this would all work. Devontae is through 2024, then an out before 25.
Like you said, he's a Raider. He's a Raider. They're building this thing. They just drafted Brock Bowers. Jacoby Myers had a sneaky good year last year as a complimentary wide receiver. And so their quarterback play is a miss for me. Like, I don't think it's going to be much of anything with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. So we'll see how.
You don't think it would take a first?
I don't think so.
I feel like it would, but that's up to Aaron now to go for it. Boy, that would be something if they just decided to say, you know what, we got one last ride.
Blank these picks.
Yep. And would New York fan be, they're probably desperate enough to say, let's do it.
Absolutely. Get them in the building ASAP. But they got Mike Williams, so they're holding out hope for that. But there's levels to Mike Williams and Devontae, as we all know.
Yeah. Well, listen, they want to create the best world they can for Aaron Rodgers right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm not calling this a no-brainer, but it might be in Aaron's mind.
He's in his ear. Devontae just told he's all up in that ear.
Is 31.
In that ear like a Q-tip, AR.
Like a warm Q-tip. Mm-hmm. All right, those are your pre-snap reads for today. We're going to come back with Joshua Perry, the great former Buckeye, after this from Low T, because I've talked to you guys about this, and it's time. It's time for you to go get your numbers. You need to do it. Low T Center is not your typical doctor's office. You're not going to wait a long time. All you have to do is go to lowtcenter.com and book your appointment. That's the big hurdle. Get over it and go get your numbers. If you're a guy, you're feeling sluggish, lack of motivation, kind of peter out in the afternoon, something's going on, you feel like things don't feel right. I shouldn't feel like this. Go to Low T Center and get your levels checked. Physician monitored self-inject treatment plan. If you need it, they'll guide you through the process. Insurance, your health insurance is accepted for treatment. They'll verify that for you, and this is the time. So get back to feeling your best. Go to lowtcenter.com, book that appointment, lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. We talk Buckeyes with JP next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. And I mean everything. Top-tier equipment? Check. 24-hour access? You bet. Free fitness training? Always. Workouts in the free PF app? What'd I tell you? Even super friendly team members.
Hey, welcome to Planet Fitness.
Oh, hey. I was just mentioning you.
Hey.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th. See Home Club for details.
Okay, so that's the final price. Oh, an extra fee to drive here. Is that it? A knock on the door fee. So is that the final price? A 15% Wednesday surcharge? What for? Oh, because it's Wednesday. Of course. Can I get back to you on this?
Apex Pros, the pros who knows.
This quote you gave me, are there any other charges I don't know about?
Other charges?
Like an it's too sunny fee or my dog wet the carpet tax?
No, Apex always gives you upfront pricing.
No surprise fees?
Never.
No charge if your stomach hurts or you lost your library card?
Upfront pricing every time at Apex Pros, whether it's plumbing, heating, and AC, or our new electrical services.
I'll call you right back. Hello, other company? Hi, me again.
It's Alex, the friendly Apex Bear. You'll never get a surprise charge with the Apex Pros upfront price guarantee. Schedule an appointment now at apexpros.com.
America's favorite car show returns to Columbus with a jam-packed weekend of cool cars, cool people, and good times. It's the Good Guys 26th Summit Racing National, and it's all happening this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center. Cruise on out with your family and friends and check out over 6,000 of the country's coolest classics on display. And don't miss Good Guys CPP Autocross Racing action, Nitro Thunderfest, a huge swap meet and vendor midway, live music, family fun, and so much more. It's Ohio's biggest hot rod and party of the summer, and it's all going down this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center. Get details at good-guys.com.
Sunday's the time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tito and Devere Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
There's something about country music that's just so easy. Like a Bud Light. Simple stories, soulful melodies, and lyrics that refer to drinking a Bud Light in the sun. So keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At UDF, our made-from-scratch peach ice cream is back with a bonus. When you buy 3 48-ounce cartons, you can quickly stack an extra 20 cents a gallon in gas savings. UDF peach ice cream, made for you, while supplies last with an opted-in UDrive account.
Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things that you love? Bone-on-bone pain in your knee? Arthritic pain like I was having in my knee? Maybe your hip, your back, your shoulder? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that you can get lasting relief from. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day here in Columbus, led by Dr. Ray Tesner. I'm talking about cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Listen, my dad was having knee pain. I was having knee pain. So we went over to QC Kinetics, and they were able to help us out. And 2 years out, I'm still feeling good. My dad can still move around. So learn how QC Kinetics can treat pain and enhance your joints and restore your mobility and give you long-term lasting relief with no downtime. So check them out. Go to 380-208-4544 or head to one of their offices in Dublin, Gehenna, or now the new one that's most recently opened in Grove City.
Spectrum delivers with fast and reliable internet. And with Spectrum One, you get even more. Spectrum Internet, so you can work, game, and stream with speeds up to a gig. Plus advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and one Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line, both free for 12 months. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile. Get it all together with Spectrum One, starting at just $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Dog friendly. And if you ain't down with that, this is Rothman and Ice.
All right, he's doing it all. Our friend Joshua Perry, the former Buckeye Natty champ, Valley Sports, big college countdown as well. And a hearty congratulations as a new papa. He is our guy. Joshua Perry is with us on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. JP, congrats. Welcome back. How are we feeling?
Feeling good. Glad to be back on the airwaves with you guys. It's been a little while, but always good to talk to you.
Very nice. How are things at home? Everybody busy? And how much sleep is the kid getting here? How we doing?
Everybody's busy. Maddie's feeling great. James is growing like a weed right now, which is absolutely crazy to see. My mom's been in town with us for a lot of this, and she has been a huge help. She's getting ready to head back to Columbus tomorrow, so we're going to miss her, but it's been a lot of fun.
All right. Well done, my man. Just so happy for the entire family. Let me ask you, I asked this to Matt earlier, and I'm on one side. He's kind of in the middle. So now with this expanded playoff, and you kind of get a get-out-of-jail-free card that you never had before in college football and a chance to still win it all. Easier, the same, or harder to win a national title for Ohio State under this format?
Oh, man. That's a difficult one. I think it's harder in general because with more games, I think anything can happen. You've got to be deeper, and we know this Ohio State team is deep. They haven't played a lot of depth under Ryan Day, just kind of like generally, so that's something that they're going to have to do a little bit more. I think it's going to be a gauntlet there at the end. Like, you're going to have to play really good teams, and so it's basically like the game is won in the margins. They kind of swing either way from time to time. I think this is where matchups also come into play. Like, certainly you might match up better against one style of player, one team than a different one. And so I think with all the variables, it becomes slightly harder. I think the regular season, like the idea of making it into the college football playoff and the idea of maybe even winning a game in the playoff changes, no doubt, but completing the full journey, I think is going to be a real challenge.
Let's talk about this Buckeye defense, JP. Obviously, there's people that are very high on what Ohio State can accomplish this year, but it feels like the defense can be one of the best units in the country. When you assess, the levels of defense that they have right now on paper, what excites you the most about that unit being led by Jim Knowles?
I think it's the secondary is the most exciting part about it. I think they've got, 8, 9 guys in the back end that can really play, like guys that are starter caliber guys. I love what they have with the corners. I thought Denzel had a really big bounce back last year. He's poised to take another step, potentially be a first-round guy. I think Monson has been like a true kind of personality fire guy, get the guys all fired up and excited. They're on the other side. Obviously with Caleb Downs transferring in, you feel like the safety room has the ability to take another huge step. I already thought they were going to be good with Lathan Ransom, who was, a huge, important part of that team, dealt with injuries. Like, I think the secondary has a real opportunity. And we talk about secondary success. It goes with the pass rush. And those guys, Jack and JT in particular, the expectation is for them to take a step. But I think it's a little bit easier to get to the quarterback when you know that the guys in the back end are going to be able to cover. So I think if the guys up front can take that step, paired with the secondary, it's going to be really hard to throw the football. I think one of the natural questions is linebacker room, maybe a little bit less experience there. I think it's really, really talented. I love the fact that Sonny's moving into that room. Cody Simon's a veteran guy who's been a leader. So I think they're going to be solid as well. But if the middle of the defense can kind of keep up with where we think the front and the secondary can end up by the end of the year, it could be the best defensive unit in the country.
Joshua, what can Sonny's experience playing safety actually give him at linebacker?
I think it's the way that the game develops as a safety, the way that you're able to see things, the route combos that you get to recognize, even the way that the run game develops. You have a different vantage point from the back end, and so you've seen it from the big picture. It all happens quicker, and you don't get to see it the same when you're playing linebacker, but just having that idea in the back of your head that you know what the pieces on the outside of you might be doing, even though you can't see them, I think is a huge advantage. The other thing that he brings just naturally is if you played in the secondary, you can cover. So if you're moving down the linebacker, now you become a matchup guy where if you have a little bit more of an athletic tight end, you say that you feel good about that matchup. If you got a running back who you know is a little bit more shifty in the pass game, they use them in route concepts, you feel good about that matchup there. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And I also look at the body type of a guy who was probably going to grow out of playing safety anyway. It certainly feels like his body is allowed to develop and mature a little bit more now that he can put on some more weight playing linebacker. Made a ton of sense, but I think he's going to transition into position just fine.
Of the new brands coming into the conference, UCLA, USC, Oregon, which squad interests you the most in 2024?
I mean, the Oregon thing is really hard to shake because everybody thinks that they're going to be a national contender. I think so as well. They're recruiting their tails off right now, and it's not going to play into the fall, but they've got a really talented roster. Dan Lanning, a very exciting young coach, really hasn't won a ton of things of significance. They had Georgia in the first year that he was there. It was a blowout. They struggled against their rivals, hasn't won a conference championship, but I think people believe he's going to take a step. It's going to be this year. Dylan Gabriel, who's a veteran quarterback. They've got, one of the best wide receiver rooms in the country as well. And I know we know what's going on here in Columbus. People nationally feel very similarly or maybe even better about what they've got at wide receiver at Oregon. So I think it's them, number one. And then number two, USC for me, I'm curious because I'm getting to a point right now with Lincoln Riley where it feels like he's really like a glorified offensive coordinator and he doesn't do the head coachy things. Like the defense has not necessarily been great. And if they can't outscore teams, they can't win. And I don't know if that's a winning formula here in the Big Ten. He made the change on the defensive side of the ball with D'Anton Lynn, who's coming in. I think he's a good defensive mind, but now it's just wait and see. And it's, I think, a tough time to be going through transition on the weak side of the ball as you're entering into a conference where you know that the defense is going to have to show up on a week-to-week basis.
Where are you on Michigan right now as far as, like, competing for the Big Ten? I mean, they offense is going to be a work in progress. New quarterback, I think 4 or 5 new starters up front. Yes, they've got some guys, but as far as a team goes, where are you on that? They bring in Texas to Ann Arbor. They do play USC at home. They play Oregon at home, and obviously they come to Columbus. Are they a 3-loss team in your mind? Less, more? What do you think?
It's an interesting thing. I'm not saying this to try to throw shade, but it certainly feels like their formula this year is like Iowa with a finished basement and a pool in the backyard, right? Like I think they're going to be really good defensively. I think that their mentality is going to be running the football with Donovan Edwards. And you mentioned the guys they got to replace on the offensive line. It's crazy, but they're replacing, I think, 10 of 11 starters on offense anyway. The one guy who is coming back is Colston Loveland, who I think has an opportunity to be the best tight end in the country, right? So, like, literally Iowa football, play great defense. You got a really good tight end, play action him based off of what the run game can do. I think that defense can get them 9 wins, no doubt. I think Texas early on is going to be the one that kind of helps us figure out where they're going to go in terms of what they want to be as a team. I think that they're going to be in contention. I think that the way that they were able to get guys reps a year ago, they were able to develop some of their depth. Like they're guys who are replacing starters aren't like guys who have never played. So I don't think the learning curve is going to be as big. But you know, when you had a team that won a title, it was very senior heavy. I think 44 seniors. you had, 13 guys or whatever the number was that got drafted. Like, there's an expected drop-off with them, and I don't think it's going to be so much defensively. I'm curious if the offense can generate enough to put them over the top in some of these games that might be a little bit more high-scoring.
Yep, no doubt. Great stuff, my man. We send our best. Thanks for jumping on with us. So hopefully we'll talk again soon.
All right, man. Take care.
Thanks. Joshua Perry, great former Buckeye with us on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline.
Speaking of former Buckeyes, let's hand out some tickets right now to the Cardell Jones charity softball game. We got a family 4-pack of tickets on the line. The game is July 20th at Huntington Park. 614-821-9710 is our phone number. Earlier in the show, I told a story about a guy that went on to play in the NFL that whooped my tail in high school in 7-on-7. Who was that player? 614-821-9710 is the number. You get it right, you'll get the tickets to the Cardell Jones charity softball game.
Tell the truth up next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Soak up the savings this summer from Family Dollar. It's never been easier. Just download the Family Dollar app, sign up for smart coupons, and see how you can save more than ever before. Enjoy smoking hot deals on cookout classics or get ready for outdoor fun with SPF for the whole family. Plus pool toys, decor, and so much more. Check out the app today and get ready to save with the Family Dollar Summer Savings Event. New offers drop every week. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
At Pella, we use the newest technology to show you exactly how new windows would look on your home.
Well, we keep it simple at our window place. We use a number 2 pencil to draw what your house will look like with our new windows. See?
Oh, yeah. That definitely looks like a number 2.
Thank you, Leslie. Wait. I see what you did there.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
You know what's better than an Ohio Lottery scratch-off ticket? A winning Ohio Lottery scratch-off ticket. And now with a new $1,000 tax-free scratch-off, you've never had a better chance to win $1,000. Seriously, this $20 game has 18,000 $1,000 winners. That's a lot of winners. And that's $1,000 after taxes. So, what are you waiting for? The $1,000 tax-free scratch-off from the Ohio Lottery. Your best chance ever at winning $1,000. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Hey, what's up, Buckeye Nation? It's Cardell Jones. Join me Saturday, July 20th at Huntington Park for the Smith's Cardell Jones charity softball game presented by Monogram Homes and the U.S. Air Force. Come check out former Buckeye greats take on this year's current Buckeye stars such as Emeka Ibuka, Jaden Ballard, and many more. Come see and meet the Buckeyes before they hit the field this fall. Gates open at 5 p.m. Contests and prizes all night long. Home run derby at 6:30 and the game to follow. Tickets available at BuckeyeCruise.com. Why picnic when you can smicknick? Get your $10 tickets now at BuckeyeCruise.com.
Common Man and T-Bone.
They're not on vacation. They're in the tangy. In the tangy. I didn't get that. They're in the all in tangy. I didn't get that.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Hi, it's me, Little Bob from Bob's Discount Furniture. I know, you don't know me yet, but I'm here to let you know that I'm opening up a brand new store in your area, located at Taylor Square in Reynoldsburg, bringing even more of my everyday low prices to the people of Ohio. And if you can't wait, MyBobs.com is the quickest and easiest way to get unbeatable furniture prices delivered straight to your home today. That's my brand new Bob's Discount Furniture coming to Reynoldsburg this summer.
Get Bob's Discount!
Attention aspiring media stars. Are you ready to take your talent to the next level? Register for your chance to win the Be On Air Summer Slam contest. This is your chance to showcase your skills in a thrilling 30-second live script challenge. Visit now at studiocontest.com to secure your spot and compete for amazing prizes, including a 4-hour studio session, Shure MV7 microphone, and Audio-Technica M20X headphones. Don't miss out on this dynamic event. Be On Air Summer Slam contest, where talent meets opportunity. Visit studiocontest.com and sign up today.
This summer, click into easier yard cleanup with same-day delivery from the Home Depot. Click into clearing overgrown grass or weeds with effortless gas-like power. And click into the convenience of a battery platform compatible with over 250 tools with the Milwaukee M18 fuel trimmer, now for just $199. Click into power with 4th of July savings now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select and stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop! Swiffer Power Mop!
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft beer.
All righty. Phone lines. It's not you, it's me. It's we feel like we have a gremlin in the system right now. So we ask that you bear with us. Well, it's a radio station. You're supposed to be able to call and win prizes. Ideally, that didn't happen today. So we will have to move this to tomorrow where we'll do a 2-pack.
We'll double down,
Shakur.
Baby. We'll
right, CB?
Yeah, that's the hope. Hopefully the lines are fixed in time for that tomorrow.
It wasn't that you just didn't want to answer the calls.
No, I promise.
Okay.
We tested the lines over here trying to call in ourselves and could not do it.
All right. We're sorry about that.
All right, today's national day of today is National Sugar Cookie Day. Question is, tell the truth. Where does the sugar cookie rank in your cookie type ranking?
Solid. I mean,
is it?
I mean, it's right up there as far as being somebody that's going to get on base for me. Someone's probably going to hit 280.
Ooh.
I feel like you dunk that in a hot cup of coffee or tea or whatever. Like, you could really raise the level of it. Yeah, is it not in the top? Well, I mean, there's so many cookies. We're not talking about like manufactured cookies at the store.
Whatever
right?
cookies you want, baby.
Well, then, yes, it's not in the top 5.
It's not in the top 5. Like,
yeah.
For me, just right off the top of the dome, like we're going chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, white macadamia nut. Then you got to go like the peanut butter cookie with the Hershey Kiss in the middle. I don't know what the exact name of that is.
Yes, I used to think, honestly, this is sad. I used to think that was a snickerdoodle, like back years ago.
Oh no, the snickerdoodle is like it's a cousin. It's a cousin of the sugar cookie, but you get that cinnamon sugar dusting on top of that thing, and it elevates the sugar cookie.
What is that one called? There is a name for
the snickerdoodle.
No. I'm talking about the Hershey's Kiss in the cookie.
Oh, the peanut butter cookie with the Hershey Kiss in the middle. I don't know the name of that. I don't know, but those things are absolutely fire.
Is that a peanut butter blossom?
I don't know. That sounds about right. We can roll with that.
It might be a blossom.
Yeah, we can roll with that. But that thing is off the chain.
That's borderline challenging warm chocolate chip cookie. Like, that's up there.
Okay.
I agree with you. But to go back to his sugar cookie.
Yeah, get it out of my face. Mid.
Is it that bad?
It's just boring. You know, it's like eating a burger.
So it's not like the glazed donut of cookies?
No.
Okay.
It's like eating
That's how I kind of feel about it.
It's like eating a hamburger. Like a hamburger is fine, but we can elevate it with cheese and other toppings, you know? So sugar cookie.
Condiments.
Yeah. Miss me with that, AR.
Mm-hmm.
Outside the top 5, easy, CB.
Just remember, it's not a lie if you believe it.
All right, crazy things. I do have an update. We can play this however you want, but I did just test the phone lines with engineer Greg, and they did work. I promise you.
I mean, we're not going to jam it in here at the end.
No, we'll double dip tomorrow.
All right, fair enough. All right, next question. Interesting that this was timed up with the Jose Ramirez announcement, but he's already done the home run derby before, so he wasn't in this equation. But my question is, tell the truth. Name one player that hasn't performed in the derby before that you would like to see.
Who you got?
Well, I don't know if they've competed or not. Trout never did it.
Didn't?
Did he?
I don't know.
I mean, that would be the name for me. I mean, that's the guy. If he never did it, then he would be the one that jumps to the forefront of my mind of guys that didn't do it.
Okay. I'm going with my guy. We got to get Ellie in this thing. Ellie's electrifying. He's absolutely electrifying. The dude's already got like 45 stolen bases. I know we're talking about home runs at this point of the calendar, but he might beat Acuna's record from last year. But I think Ellie would be exciting to watch in the home run derby.
Hits it real far for a shortstop. Absolutely.
And that, my boy, is a damn truth.
All right, today's fan poll, the question is this. This was brought up by Joe Burrow during his interview with Part of My Take the other day, but should the NFL have a midseason bye week where all the teams are on bye and it's replaced by the Pro Bowl activities, yes or no?
I'm out. Let's just bury the Pro Bowl. I appreciate the thought process of Joe.
Doesn't seem like that's an option according to the league.
Because the NFL, they're never going to pass up on a check. But it hasn't played for me as a fan, CB, for years. Like, I loved it as a kid when they had all the contests and all that stuff going on. But the kind of footballed out at that point a little bit. I don't care about a football game that they don't care about. So the Pro Bowl for me, it's a miss, AR, so I'm out on that idea.
Yeah, I don't need it either. I feel like you're right. Back in the day, watching your guy, whatever conference it was, but wearing their own helmet was kind of cool back as a kid and all that. It's just a sport that's too violent. It doesn't lend itself for. But the interesting part is the bye week. Forgetting about filling it with a Pro Bowl, I'm wondering if you do have a midseason bye for all these guys. We already have just one bye week. It doesn't seem enough for all the travel and all the violence. And at that level, I'm happy for us fans that there aren't. You're talking about adding another one where they're everybody's off.
So the conversation was the trade-off for the week or the 18 games. It was a question of if we add the 18th game, they want a second bye week that they can treat as this week. I'm out. I'll keep it 17 with one bye week. It's selfish as a fan for me to say that, and I understand perfectly why he's saying it. Because they need to heal and they need that second week. But I can't imagine having 1 week in the middle of football season where nobody's playing in the pros.
The truth shall set you free.
If you missed Sam Monson from Pro Football Focus talking all things NFL, or the former Buckeye and Olentangy's finest Joshua Perry talking Buckeye football and a lot more, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Those interviews and everything else we do will be waiting for you. And don't forget, subscribe to the Rothman and Ice podcast as well.
And if you miss the chance to win the tickets, we'll double up tomorrow.
We got you. Don't worry about it.
So we hope you'll make us part of your day. Keep your hands inside the ride at all times. All right, Common Man and T-Bone up next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan. This is a Fan Action Update.
The Cleveland Guardians look to bounce back today after getting shut out by the Tigers 1-0 yesterday. The AL Central lead is down to 5 games. Guardians are minus 150 on the money line with the first pitch at 6:40 today. The Reds shut out the Rockies 6-0 to start the series yesterday. Today they are minus 160 favorites on the money line over Colorado. Reds 10 games out of the NL Central. For your Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. Reliable streams of income are crucial for retirees, and Social Security and pensions aren't enough. We can help. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Bobby Carpenter here for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in the testosterone and hormone replacement therapy game. And weight loss too, that's right. Affinity offers semaglutide injections for weight loss in addition to their testosterone treatments so you can lose weight and build muscle. They customize a plan directly for you. They added peptides to my TRT. They've added semaglutide with my friend's testosterone, and the results are amazing. They're pumped about summertime and pool season, so check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
America's favorite car show returns to Ohio for the biggest hot rodding event of the year. It's the Good Guys 26th Summit Racing National, and it's all taking place this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center in Columbus. Check out thousands of chrome and candied hot rods, muscle cars, and trick trucks. Shop the huge swap meet at Vendor Midway and see which rides take home the crown of the Good Guys 2024 Classic Instrument Street Rod and PPG Street Machine of the Year. It's all happening this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center, and you don't want to miss it. Get complete details at good-guys.com.
Hey, it's Anthony for the Good Feet store. 3 words for me: pain-free summer. Spent probably 30 hours walking around the Memorial Tournament and felt awesome with my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store in my everyday kicks. Sure, every now and then we all get random foot pain from pickleball or golf or just being a human being. Having my personally fit arch supports in my shoes has made a massive difference. And even right after I put them in, Didn't take long to feel much more supported and aligned, and it's so easy to just move them into any pair. Before I had them, I dreaded being on my feet for any length of time. Well, you have nothing to lose but the pain, as they say. It's a free fitting and test walk. Try them for yourself. See the difference it can make. It did for me. And best of all, you can wear them home. 2 locations on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road, or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet Store, America's arch supports experts.
The Beat the Heat fan campaign is underway. Help Ohio's most vulnerable residents this summer. Purchase new box fans and take them to the nearest Franklin, Madison, or Marion County fire station. The Fan 10 TV Beat the Heat fan campaign is sponsored by Newman Roofing.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified